It's Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, back here in the studio talking about nerd stuff. Top Gun Maverick. Get ready for Star Wars because we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney+. That's Scotty Scoop. That's the Giggler. Dan P's here in the fourth seat. I'm Logan. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello, welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff. I'm your host, Logan, back here again in St. Louis, Missouri, with my friends, here to talk about a whole bunch of nonsense. I hope you're ready to get into the nerd culture today. We're going to the 80s, we're going to the 70s, with a mix of Top Gun, with Star Wars, bringing it to the forefront. Let's give it up now for our co-host. You know this one. It's Scotty Scoop.
What's up, fellas? It's going to be a great episode.
It's been a minute, Scotty.
I can feel it.
Can you feel the energy?
Yes.
We got 4 again. You've got your button on. You've got your Top Gun Applebee's button that I got you.
Top Gun. I'm requesting a flyby.
As one of your all-time favorite actors, Tom Cruise, are you excited for today?
Yes. Oh, Tom Cruise, he's the best.
Guys, you know this one. He's back again to giggle his little butt off. He's the Giggler.
Waiting for a soundbite. I didn't know if that was real or if that was you guys.
Well,
do a fresh one every time.
As I told you upstairs, I don't have time to do anything other than sit right here, right now with you. Giggler, how are you? How you been?
Dude, I'm great. It is great to be here with an extra special guest today.
Extra special, a friend of yours, actually.
Yes.
You know what I'm realizing, we'll get into it, is all 3 of my co-hosts today started as fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a special fan today. A guy that's been giving us money for, probably about 2 years, really. Here and there. You know, the way Patreon works is you give it to us when you want. We appreciate it. He's a super fan. We actually got a little nickname, I think. We're going to try it out for you. Dan Patreon? Am I saying it right?
I think
Giggler?
we should go Danny Patreon.
Danny Patreon here in the
That
fourth
works.
seat. Give it up. Welcome to the show, man.
Dan
Happy
Pat.
to be here.
Yep.
As fraternity brothers, we used to call him Danny Frat, so.
I had a lot of nicknames in that fraternity, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So
It's
Danny
okay.
Frat, Danny Patreon here in the fourth seat, man. I'm just going to get out of the way. Star Wars is your shit.
Yeah, this is like everything that you guys talk about is things that I'm interested in, things that I've really enjoyed. You know, Marvel's changed a lot over the past couple of years, since Disney and the movies. Always been a huge Batman fan, but Star Wars is like my jam. I'll get a lot of hate for this, but the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi, is my favorite. And that's the movie that I first saw when I was a kid, in the speeder bike section where Luke and Leia are chasing the scout troopers and then the spaceship battle. Like, that just got me hooked. And then I watched everything. I've seen cartoons, video games, all that stuff. So it's been a interesting journey since Disney bought Star Wars, and we're going to talk about that today for sure. But, I'm just happy to get more. Even if I don't always love everything they're doing, it's nice that something's coming our way that isn't just like books that you buy, which some of those are good too. But happy to be here. I think especially like during COVID, I had a lot of extra time on my hands. So listening to you guys and then hearing, my buddy Andy talk, and I was living in Denver at the time, so it's just kind of a nice way to like reconnect and hear him, and then I've just kind of latched on to your guys' opinions, and it reminds me of sitting in the room with friends just talking about a movie we just saw.
Hell yeah.
That's
Hell
what I've
yeah,
always
man.
liked.
Wow. That's
Aw.
fantastic. Well,
Beautiful.
man, you've been here along with the ride with us, one of our longest fans, now on the show. I told you I was going to ask you this, man. Like, you already kind of answered it. But it seems like you fit right in with kind of the stuff we're talking about, this nerd culture. It's a time like during COVID, man, I think I was one of like 1.4 million podcasts that came out. So we're happy that we made it onto your list, but so glad to have you here in person. Tell people a little bit about yourself. You hit like where you live, what you do generally. As much as you want to share, you know, we always keep that up to you.
You know, we were joking about this before the show, but I'm like, I've been a nerd a long time, but I feel like I grew up when I had to kind of hide it. So, you know, Andy and I went to high school together, and I don't think he and I ever talked about any of the stuff that we're going to talk about here today because it was just, you know, it was different. You know, everybody wasn't wearing superhero t-shirts to school like I see the kids in today, and I'm happy for that because it's something that, you know, was important to me. You know, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, moved around a lot for work. I was most recently in Denver. Just moved back here for a little bit and probably heading back to Texas for work shortly. I have work at a marketing company, and you know, been listening to the podcast, love it. The one thing I'd say to people is like, was already on Patreon for other podcasts, but like, you know, a couple bucks a month is nothing, but it means a lot to these smaller content creators. And, you know, this isn't like, you know, we were joking earlier too, this isn't like Joe Rogan, you're getting that Spotify money. Like, you know, every dollar I can see going back into the show and making it better, helping you guys. And the other thing I thought about is, you know, people need to be able to make money doing this and kind of justify all the expenses outside of just the hobby and enjoyment. And if I want something like this to continue, like, I got to put my money where my mouth is a little bit and help people and support those that I think are creating things that if it had to stop for whatever reason, you know, I would miss.
Yeah, would you miss it?
Yeah,
man,
I would
thanks
miss
a lot.
And,
That's a hell of a plug for just any independent creator out there
Yeah.
that puts in the work and has like you said, like not the Joe Rogans, like you got hard costs.
Yeah.
Just to have the show exist, to be able where we can all sit here and it lives out there. It costs money for it to run.
Yep.
So like money like yours truly makes a difference. Like it goes right to the bills. Like well, we'll get right into it. It was my birthday yesterday. Just turned 33. Thank you guys. And my dad gave me, you know, parents. You just never know with parents what they're going to do for your birthday. Sometimes it's like, let's go to Ruby Tuesday, and we'll meet you there. This time, my dad gave me $300 in Amazon cash and was like, just get yourself something. Where do you think it went? It went right back into some preamps we're going to put in these microphones to just make our sound better. So, Dan, thank you.
No, absolutely. And hopefully other people feel the same way and, like, you know, can join me because the pre-show content, I'm telling y'all, it is the best.
What is it about? All right, so this is a good sell for the public listeners. What is it about the pre-show that keeps you coming back?
It is the unfiltered what is happening in the studio. Like, if you weren't a Patreon today, you missed the fact that I like already almost broke a mic and we had to like fix that. Okay. This is the behind the scenes stuff.
I was in your lap for a solid 3 minutes.
Yeah, Logan and I got a little closer today.
It was kinky.
But
all right,
but it's always a good time.
Well, I'm going to take a moment. Scotty Scoop, you got me a present.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked you upstairs, I said, you want me to open it now or on the show? You said, it doesn't matter. I said, where did I open it in your head? You said the show.
Yeah, it's definitely the show.
Can I just rip it?
Yeah, rip it.
No, like comic book print. I'm going in.
Yeah.
I want the fans to really feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of pops.
Oh, look at this. Vision Pop What If.
That's nice.
This is like a different Vision.
This is the Zola.
This is the
Arnim
Zola Vision
Zola
with the
Vision.
Zola in the chest. Andy?
They have one of those for everything.
Yeah, they do.
That
Everything.
is so obscure.
Ravager Thanos,
Yeah.
also from What If, the T'Challa episode.
Yes.
You know you've made it if you've had a Funko Pop made of you.
Oh my! Yeah, well, especially
For
just from
sure.
a What If
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Like these are alternate versions
Right.
of the Funko's. Like, oh, we're ready.
Yeah, we're doing everything.
Scotty, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Those are going right
Yeah,
into the studio,
for
dude.
sure.
I appreciate that. Lots of love in here today, man.
Beautiful.
Fantastic, sir. And like I said, I got you a little something, so there's a little payback there.
Here we go.
That was a button. And if you're not familiar, Top Gun's doing a partnership with Applebee's. Spend $25 at Applebee's, they'll send you to Top Gun. You just got to like send your receipt to whatever. $25 Applebee's. Way to go. There was a button. Me and Carrie stopped at Applebee's. There was a button sitting there. They also have cardboard cutouts of Tom Cruise all over Applebee's.
How much are those?
I mean, I almost walked out with
Yeah, I
one
was
of
gonna
those.
say you should have taken that.
I mean, they had T-shirts on. The waiters and everybody had. I was like, give me one of those, but I got you a button,
Nice.
so we're even.
I'm wearing it.
You are wearing it. Look like you're a politician.
That's right.
All right, we're sharing some love. Why don't we do it with some of our fans?
Fan mail.
Fan mail is so great today because we have a real fan in the studio with Dan P. Fantastic. And we're also going to share something with you, our fans. We're bringing you another contest right here, right now. You might have saw this on our social media if you're following us. I'm a big fan of a band recently called The Midnight. Scotty Scoop, I know, is familiar. I've introduced Andy to these guys, and he's probably checked them out. Dan P., are you familiar with The Midnight?
This is what you posted on Instagram the other day?
Exactly.
Yep.
So these guys are bringing out some smash summer hits. Think 80s kind of pop rock meets saxophone meets modern lyrics with just a cool group of folks making some dope-ass music. And I have been into records as of late. I bought myself this record. And with the birthday, Miss Carrie also bought me this record. So we end up with double duty, and it was Carrie's idea. She said, why don't you give it away on the show?
For sure.
If you're into vinyls, if you're not, and this might get you into vinyls, we have one right here, wrapped, unopened, brand new version of The Midnight Monsters. You can enter to win, totally free. Must be 18 years of age or older to enter, and you can do it at mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. I promise you, it will not cost you anything. You fill out 3 questions with your name and your email. We'll never share that out to anybody, and we'll draw one lucky winner, announce it on the show, and we'll mail you this record. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I see your eyes, Andy. You getting jealous?
I don't know. I have a record player, so I was thinking,
Oh, shoot. I didn't know you did. I
Okay.
was like, oh, Andy probably doesn't want it.
no, it's okay.
No,
I'll
just
just
kidding.
enter to win.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. We were always going to give it to a fan.
Oh yeah, good. I'm a fan, right?
You are? Well, hey, like I said, we got fans in the studio. It can happen just like that. So go enter. We will continue to do contests on the show, and we'll give away stuff a lot more often as we keep going over the years. So go to mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. Enter to win that vinyl right now. With that, let's talk about a little bit of news.
News and rumors.
2 quick pieces. This one's going to be super quick because it's a future date. This is coming from the Direct. Link to this in our episode description. Disney Plus Day 2022 has been announced. I have 7 predictions. We're just going to read them real quick in just a minute, but I had to highlight this day. This was a sleeper. If you guys remember, this was one of those events that we did not know about in 2021. What will it be? Marvel teases. Do they even do much Star Wars teases? I was going to ask you, Dan P.
Yeah, they've laid out some stuff they shouldn't. Well, Celebration just happened, so they showed an Andor trailer, and then they talked about like Ahsoka coming out.
Andor, Ahsoka, anything else?
Bad Batch season
Bad
2,
Batch 2, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
They got the stuff happening. And then in
yeah.
the Marvel world, there's some predictions. None of this is fact. So just in terms of the details, Disney Plus Day 2022 is taking place on September 8th. So this will be just after the summer, right before one day before D23 Expo starts on September 9th. So D23 is like Disney's other big event. Disney Plus Day seems to be something different that's focusing on the TV show content coming on the service. So Marvel Entertainment promoted this. Star Wars promoted it on their Twitter. And this nice article from the Direct did a job for us. Here's the predictions they got that's coming out in the Marvel world. That's what I picked. If you guys think of anything else that came out after I go down this list, please shout them out. We're probably going to hear from She-Hulk. Maybe some more footage there. If you guys remember last year, right, they did like the sizzle reel for the series. So I'm picturing something similar. She-Hulk. Echo is thought to maybe be seen. Scott, I know you'll love this. Werewolf by Night, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I mean, I would love to see a teaser of that. James Gunn has been tweeting about the production of Guardians in the Galaxy 3, so I feel like they're probably going to be doing it with the whole cast there. Iron Heart. I would love to get a look at this, Iron Man-based kind of series. Probably starting, Don Cheadle coming back as James Rhodes. We have not seen anything about this show.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil series. We got to hear about this show that's been confirmed. I've seen some things lately that it might be not as hard as the Netflix show. Well, what'd you think was going to happen when it came to Disney?
I mean, but Disney just said the next Deadpool, they're not pulling punches.
I'm not buying it.
They
we'll
pulled all
see,
these
but-
Netflix series, and they're all exactly the same.
Yeah.
You just got to put your little password in if you want to set up the
I'm buying it.
the adult version of Disney Plus.
Yeah, if you want to see Jessica Jones, banging Luke Cage, you're going to have to pay for it. Or not pay for it. You have
Who
to
doesn't want to see that?
And then there might be even something about like a Legend of the Ten Rings related series called, it's actually a rumor.
Centered on the 10 rings.
Centered on the 10 rings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his sister did take over the crime crime ring.
The crime syndicate that her
Yeah.
dad was running, the Mandarin.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be something like that. All right, anything else from Disney Plus Day that you guys want to see?
I Am Groot.
I am Groot.
I
That's a
I
good
think
one.
that actually
I think
comes
that-
out.
yeah, that
Doesn't
comes
that come
out,
out before
Yeah,
Disney
I
Plus
just
Day?
realized. I just saw the date and I realized
okay.
that was the first
All
thing
right.
that came to mind. But yeah, it's
Well, hey, September 8th, mark your calendars. It's going to be a big weekend for Disney, and it'll be right here after the summer. We'll be sure to break down everything that comes out, at least the stuff we care about, on the episode following that day. Also, this week, actually, picked a great week for this, over at Netflix. What's that? June 6th to 10th, Geeked Week. Hashtag Geeked Week 2022. And Scott, you told me in the Facebook group that you were going to do some reporting and jot some stuff down, but you said you left your notebook at your house.
Terrible reporter. Huge fail.
All right, man.
But
Well,
there is so much content that
What-
they've been dropping.
Scotty, why don't you just give us kind of a synopsis of like what this even is for fans?
This is basically the Disney Plus Day of Netflix, but they've stretched it, and this is just stuff that's coming.
Teasers.
Teasers. There's a lot of this stuff that'll be out in the next couple of months. A lot of stuff that you might not see for a while. Stuff like Umbrella Academy is
Hell yeah.
is
Hell
this
yeah.
month.
The Sandman.
Sandman will be in August.
Okay.
Adam Sandler.
Lock and Key, season 3, the final season.
Hell yeah, what a show.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was final season.
Sweet Tooth, they showed a little sizzle reel that it's finished its second season.
Hell yes.
Such a great show.
Yeah.
And so this is actually happening this week. So by the time you listen to this, when the episode's out, if you're watching us live on Twitch, we are live on Twitch, then you should know about this. It started yesterday. It's running all week. And essentially they're doing like different announcements and different teases of things throughout the week. And they got this great poster that we're showing up on our screen share.
Yes. So much good stuff.
They are doing a lot of like anime video game stuff in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's interesting.
An entire day dedicated to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
It's-
Stranger Things Day on Thursday, June 9th. The Cuphead show on Friday, June 10th. We got the Gray Man. This is today, so June 7th.
the Gray Man
What's that?
It looks great. It's the Russo brothers.
You said it looks gray.
Yeah, very gray. That's like, come on, guys, you're Netflix. Put some color in your shows.
Yeah, come on, at least a little red here and there.
You got Captain America, Chris Evans.
Oh, nice.
And who's the other guy?
And the Gray Man?
Yeah,
I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah, it's Russo brothers. Looks like a great spy thriller. Apparently, it's a huge book series.
Giggler, what's catching your eye on this poster?
I'm all about Stranger Things right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this second half of this new season to come out.
You're rewatching it as well?
No. I mean I watched the new season like
Just
first
fresh?
week it came
Oh,
out.
yeah.
The newest
It was-
one from our season. We're on season 4 now.
Season 4,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was so good, but we'll be talking about that later. I'm sure a little bit.
A
But
little bit, yeah.
Other than that, I didn't really know a lot of what these are, but sometimes that's Netflix. They hit home runs on like the little known movies that you don't know about. Like it just pops up in that top 10, and I watch it, and it's really good. But sometimes it doesn't. But I'm pretty excited for what was the one that had Chris Evans? I saw that.
That's
trailer.
the Gray Man.
That's the Gray
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
I watched that trailer today, and
Yeah,
that
he's got
looked
the
really good.
the cop mustache.
Yeah.
Looks
Yep.
great.
It looks great.
Danny P.
Mustaches are huge now.
Oh, they're back?
I'll be
Oh,
getting
yeah.
one. I'll be getting one too. After
I was
Taco.
so close, so close.
Danny-
If Shanna would have let me,
You
I
could-
have a mustache right now.
Oh, she would like it, I bet. I tried. I took it. I brought it on last summer. Mine was
I
weak,
remember.
though. Yeah, it wasn't very good. I could do a little thicker, I think. Danny P, what do you think of Sweet Tooth?
Yeah, I mean, first season was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought like a lot of these things up here are like graphic novels or video game properties or something else that they're adapting. So it's definitely interesting. My hope is that they give at least most of these shows like 2 seasons, because there's some
Yeah.
stuff that I thought like Cowboy Bebop, I thought was a really unique take on it. And they canceled it after 1 season. The Dark Crystal series,
Loved it.
way underrated.
Oh, amazing. So
Can't-
good. Coming off that
yeah,
movie right into
that-
that show.
Man, that had to be an expensive show to make.
So expensive.
And
Bring it
I
back.
know, and they canceled it, and I was so bummed. I'm like, this was so neat and unique, and I think they have some stuff on here that has that same potential. And so I hope that they, at least give it a shot, because 1 season in these like limited episode seasons is like not a lot to give a show a chance to like grow and gain an audience, and especially when you're releasing it all at once. The hype train is so short for you to like catch everybody.
Mhm.
A lot of these shows are picking up people in like season 2 when people
Yeah,
are
for sure.
convincing others to come and watch them.
Yeah, man, that is so spot on. Man, you talking about that Dark Crystal show just like brought up this old itch that I forgot I even had.
I
think the movie and the series is one of the best stories ever told.
I signed a
yeah.
petition to like bring that back online. I like found it, which I also
Send
did.
me the link.
I also did for Young Justice years ago.
Oh my god!
And that got
I am
brought
on
back.
that list. I am on that list.
Yes.
Because I was like, why did you cancel this? I'm like, this is the best thing that's been done like for DC in a long time.
In a long time.
That's
So,
fantastic.
You never know.
What's not pictured here is
Talking Geek Week still, Netflix.
Geek Week.
Yeah.
Is Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Oh.
Does anybody know about this?
I saw that Zack Snyder did like retweet about this week, and like, but I didn't know. I was like, what's he involved with? So what is this?
This was a pitch to Lucasfilm before it was bought by Disney for an adult Star Wars
Oh wow.
movie or property. And he is right now filming this movie, 2 movies back to back. And some of the stuff he shared looked pretty cool.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, his stuff that is at least beautiful, fun, and I mean, I only really know Zack Snyder from the Justice League, so like, I'd like to see some other stuff that come out of him, especially something new.
Yeah.
All right, Geeked Week. It happening now. If you're watching us live, happened last week. You can find those details. We'll have a link to this in our show description. And with that, let's get into what we're watching.
What you watching?
What you watching? That's where we tell you what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're doing out here in the real world. And we have a big mini meet to feature for you today. Can't wait to talk about Tom Cruise's latest movie, Top Gun Maverick. We're going to dive into it, give you a high-level view of the story, catch you up from Top Gun, talk about who made it. Before we do that, we couldn't pass up. So you know how we do. Me, Scotty, and Andy kind of making the sacrifice. We'll talk about Top Gun, but I couldn't bring on Danny Patreon and not ask what you're watching, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with it, but Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1.
There you go.
Yeah, I know we're going to go into it.
No, not today, so this is it.
But, yeah, I mean, it's...
Don't give any spoilers.
No, I know. I know you haven't watched it all yet, so...
Yeah, I'm doing a rewatch. I'm only on Season 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just amazed at their ability to bring in new characters and me to care about them. So there's some new people, probably seen in the trailers, and like they fit. My only complaint with the season is it's a little segmented as far as the cast goes, and you'll see why as you watch it. Because it's like most of the shows, you like all these characters and you love when they're together. When they're together, they're going against the same obstacle, whatever it is. But and we're gonna talk a little bit about this in Obi-Wan. Stranger Things shows that kids can like lead a show. Like that first season, those child actors, like that was like a Goonies style, like really good. And you show like when kids are given good dialogue, they can be very impactful, and it can take you back to that moment as a child because it feels realistic.
Yeah.
But I believe Stranger Things Season 4 has the best villain that the show has had so far.
Okay.
Like,
Agreed.
by far.
Cool.
I think they do a good job balancing out the storylines that they're telling, and it all feels like they're beginning to move to some sort of like conclusion.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's like the Duffer Brothers have a plan, and we're moving in the right direction. It's not like some of the other shows where you're like, okay, how's this going to end?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for Part 2. That was definitely a different thing to do it in 2 parts. I think we're going to see more of that with Netflix's really popular series, so that they keep you subscribed longer. But it's
keep you talking about it longer too.
And
COVID, they probably had a little bit of like, well, we don't have a choice on a lot of these.
Right.
My score for this would be a 3.7 right now.
Oh damn,
it's great.
Yeah, dude. Fair share. What a show. Rewatching it here. This is probably my like 3rd time. It's not one that I rewatch all the time, but me and Carrie were like, we got to catch ourselves up.
Yeah.
And just seeing these first 3 seasons, they hold up. they're true to the characters. You know, definitely for me being a huge Stephen King fan, not really knowing anything about the Duffer Brothers otherwise.
Yeah.
It's me going like, you know, Stephen King, I would love to know what he thinks of this show. Like if he's like, oh, wow, that's a little bit of a nod. Or if he'd be like, yeah, I already wrote a lot of this in many other stories, like kind of spread out. But like Stranger Things is cool because I feel like it's kind of like the one-stop shop for like, listen, you're going to get everything. Young kids, small town, science experiments, other dimensions, a little mixed bag. So I still am here for it all the time. I'm with you.
Yeah. And, you know, and there's more vibes of that. You know, you got It vibes throughout
Yes.
this season for sure. You got Freddy Krueger vibes. Like, you know, these guys grew up on that horror genre, and they do it in a very approachable way, I think, that isn't quite as terrifying as some of those movies were. Now, I was also much younger when I watched them, but...
Andy, I know
it's
you're
great.
watching it. Scotty, you watch Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, of course.
Fan?
Huge fan. I will say the only thing about this season that has thrown me off is these aren't children anymore.
No.
These
I just see the preview of Dustin, and like that's all I see.
They
You know, is
all-
like his face, and I'm
they
like, wow,
all
he looks
look
way
like
different.
adult men,
Yeah.
and it's very jarring. And they were probably only like 18 or 19 when they filmed this
Yeah.
season, but it is just super jarring.
Well, from when
to
they
see
were
how much they've
7,
grown. Right?
I mean 8. I don't know how old they really
Yeah, I
were,
don't
but they
know.
were young kids in that first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
For
Okay, Dan P. Thanks to you, man. Fair share, fantastic. The only other thing I was gonna mention during What You Watching is there are 3 episodes of The Boys out right now on Amazon Prime by Amazon Prime Video. By the time you listen to this out live, there'll be a 4th one. I mean, my God, this show is fantastic. The first episode in the first 10 minutes is exactly as crazy as you think, but you can't fathom what I'm talking about. Who has seen it here?
I have seen it for sure.
Jiminy Cricket.
We got-
It's so
I'm-
good.
I'm waiting.
Termite.
You're waiting still.
Well, yeah, I haven't had a chance since it dropped, but I mean, I've watched all the other seasons. I'm excited, but
Yeah,
so don't spoil it. But
I'm
other than
a
that-
fan of wait and binge too, you know.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it, and she was like, Carrie was like, do you want to wait? And I was like, man, they got 3. We're watching this right now. Like,
Do it.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
I tweeted it. The show's perfect so far. I mean, the first 2 seasons are perfect,
Absolutely.
and these first 3 episodes are perfect. Like this show, ugh.
It's
that's
something else.
That's another show I worry about though, because I think the main villain guy, I can't think of his name. I think that actor's in some trouble right now.
Oh yeah.
Anthony Starr.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. He punched somebody. He punched a chef
Yeah.
in Belgium or somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, somewhere over in
recover.
Italy
Yeah,
or
I
something
mean-
like that. Spain.
That's always the stuff when I see that. I'm like, no, I like that show. I like that character. God, they're gonna have to
Yeah.
write around it.
We weren't there though.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened.
No.
If
This-
Ezra
the chef-
Miller can
Right.
have a job still, so can Anthony Starr.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All those Ezra Miller stories remind me of that South Park episode where we're talking about Russell Crowe fighting around the world. And I'm like,
Holy
Ezra
crap.
Miller. That's a
so
throwback.
true.
That's a throwback. It's
it's
going
a
around
sad-
fighting people.
A sad version of
Ugh.
that.
Well, guys, if you're ready, let's go ahead and get into our mini meat of the day before the break and get into Tom Cruise's latest film, Top Gun Maverick. First, let's talk about the original, real quick, 1986 Top Gun. We're still using IMDb Pro, giving it a shot, man. And I got to tell you guys, I love it from a podcast producer standpoint where I'm talking about TV and film. I mean, it is a one-stop shop. Every single thing you need. This movie, Top Gun, the original. This is going to be a super quick recap. This is, team effort. Let me know if we miss anything. I want to spend like 2-3 minutes here tops. Recap. 1986, Tom Cruise stars in a movie called Top Gun. It's about a guy named Maverick. And let's just talk about real quickly who made this one. Because as we talk about the new movie, I think it's fun to play a little bit of comparison game. This one was directed by Tony Scott. Writers Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr. Andy, who's that third name there? Ahid Yonzi.
Where are you at?
Hugh Yone.
Yone, thank you. Producers.
Oh,
Yep.
my bad.
Jerry Bruckheimer, of course, produced
Of
this
course.
one with Don Simpson. Composed by Harold. Got that one, Scotty?
Faltermeyer.
Faltermeyer.
Yeah.
And let's look at the cast here. Of course, Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis as Charlie, Val Kilmer as Iceman, Anthony Edwards, Goose, of course, Tom Skerritt as
Viper.
Thank you. This TV's just out of reach of this vision, and I have great eagle eyes too, and I still can't. Michael
Ironside.
playing.
Jester.
Jester.
Way to go, guys. Anybody else you want to call out there?
I don't even know who most of those people are.
Tim Robbins?
Yeah, Tim
Merlin.
Robbins.
Who's he
Okay,
playing?
Okay.
There's
Merlin.
Merlin.
All right, so in 1986, this movie had a budget of $15 million. Opening weekend only made $8 million.
I mean, one of
This
these
is 1986.
one of those
But
planes
still, it didn't even
costs
I mean,
$15 million now.
Oh my God. All right, then gross U.S. and Canada. Looks like this movie has made $180 million worldwide. Actually, U.S. and Canada. Then worldwide, $357 million. So that's, again, 1986 to date.
That's big 1986
Yeah,
numbers.
Yeah.
That's-
Inflation is wild.
I mean, and this was a hit, right? This was a blockbuster. Tom Cruise, hot young actor, coming in. Let's just recap it for you. Maverick, hotshot pilot, best friend Goose, basically gets called up to the training school for the best pilots, essentially in the world, at least in the country. It's called Top Gun.
Top Gun.
And I thought somebody was going to like do the music.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so good. It hits. He thinks he's the best. No one at the school thinks he's the best, but they know he's kind of the best. And he continuously proves it by bending these planes to his will and taking himself outside the parameters of what the U.S. Navy would call safe. And this will be a problem in his whole career. Not only that, but a freak accident in the sky during training camp results in the death of his best friend Goose. A husband and a father. Just a great dude who loved singing and playing piano, had the best mustache. And, this almost wrecks Maverick in the movie. Decides, you know what? I'm going to get back on that horse. Still, go to my graduation day at Top Gun. And not only that, but get called up to a badass mission at the very end, kill 3 planes in the air in one go, which has never been done, and he is the hero. And that's Top Gun, the first one, right? Anything else?
Isn't Meg Ryan the Goose's wife?
Meg
Yes.
Ryan is Goose's
How is she not
wife.
on this top list? I feel like
How'd she not make
we got
it?
a lot of flyby call sign guys on here. But,
Yeah.
you know, Meg Ryan, not
Well-
a very well known name or anything.
Well, Dan, it was the 80s.
yeah, true.
So we got to
yeah.
get Barry Tubb as Wolfman on here.
Yeah.
It was an
He made the top 10.
it was an uphill battle in the 80s, and apparently still today on IMDb Pro.
Yeah,
Still
no
can't
kidding.
give her credit.
Jeez.
Yeah, and a little love interest here with Kelly McGinnis, but a great movie. Bomb. Watched it the day before I watched Top Gun Maverick. Anybody else?
Nice. I probably haven't seen this in a few years.
Yeah, been a couple years for me.
Dan?
It's one of those movies you always catch bits and pieces of when it's like on TV and you see it and you just go, oh, I'm going to let it play.
Yeah.
Well,
And then it hits a commercial and you're like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
I've realized as I get older that a lot of movies I know about are that movie.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, I've only seen 10 minutes of this every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it. Top Gun is one of those that we brought back. I think me and Carrie watched it 2 years ago, brought it back, and I got to say, it holds up.
Yeah.
Here we are. May 27th, 2022. Help me with the math there. How many years later? 96, 2006, 16, 26, almost 36
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
Tom Cruise hasn't aged a day.
He
Yeah.
looks, he has.
He has, but he's still impressive.
But he looks fantastic.
He hasn't aged 36 years.
No.
I can tell you that.
36 years
Yeah,
in
really.
the making. This is a movie we heard about first. I mean, probably in 2019
Yeah.
because it
They-
was before the
yeah.
pandemic.
It was supposed to drop in 2020.
They showed this teaser of Tom Cruise playing Maverick in an office somewhere about hey, you're an old fossil. There's new tech on the horizon, and then boom, quiet
Yeah.
for 2.5 years. Here we are. The big delay is over. The movie's out. It's only in theaters. This is the campaign, partially produced here by Tom Cruise. Let's talk about the rest of them. Directed by Joseph Kosinski. So Tony Scott, you're out. I don't know if he's just not around anymore. Writers Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr., Peter Craig, Justin Marks, Jerry Bruckheimer is back. Tom Cruise is also there producing the movie. David Ellison, also a producer on the film, along with Christopher McQuarrie. This one is produced by Paramount Pictures. So Paramount Pictures is the production company and the distribution company. And composed by, this is fun, Lorne Balfe, Harold Faltermeyer, which is from the first film, of course. You got the main track in there. Lady Gaga, and then Hans Zimmer. What a list of composers. Gaga's in there.
Quite a soundtrack.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Listen to it this week already.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is it fantastic?
Yeah.
Coming back for the film, of course, Tom Cruise coming back in as Maverick, making that title card here. Val Kilmer back as Iceman. Miles Teller coming in as Goose's young son, Rooster. Jennifer Connelly making her appearance as Penny in the film. I think a new character,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not
She was talked about in the prior movie, but not in it.
really.
Yeah. It was referenced that he had some indiscretions with a corporal's daughter or something like that. There was somebody at the school. So
Wow, good job. I can't, how did you look that up?
I saw it on a breakdown. I think it was like a Screen Crush or something maybe.
Yeah, because for me, I was like,
Yeah.
the movie's getting over, and I was like, was that the same girl as the first Top Gun?
I was the
I
same
didn't remember
dude. I
either.
did the same thing. I had no idea.
And I think
So-
I think a lot of people did the same thing.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it's just the same similar kind of love story, kind of intertwined here. And I can't see that behind here. We got John
John Hamm.
Hamm.
Can't forget the ham.
John Hamm. That's a St. Louis guy right there for you.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about box office. This is what you want to know about, you nerds out there. The budget here, $170 million. I guess they were like, the first one went pretty well. That in 1986 for $15 million. Here's $170 million, Andy, like you said, just to get even one of these planes. Can't even imagine. Opening weekend did pretty well with $126 million. U.S. Canada is looking strong as of today, $295 million, and gross worldwide, $557 million, doing just fine at the box office. And of course, we all saw this at theaters. Well, I saw this yesterday. When did you see it, Dan P?
We saw it last Tuesday.
Yep.
You- both of you?
$5
Yeah, we went
Tuesday.
together.
Very
Gotta get
nice.
that Ronnie's $5 Tuesday, man.
Hell yeah! And then Scotty, I mean,
Friday.
you saw it Friday. I also want to know, man. I want to just have your gut check on this movie. How excited were you for it, and how did it end for you when the credits ran? No rating yet. We'll talk about
No rating. Everybody knows I love Tom Cruise.
it. Love it.
I was super pumped for this movie 3 years ago, and I was still pumped for this movie when it came out last week. Saw it. You got the goosebumps. The tears, random. It was almost like watching a Marvel movie for me.
Yeah.
This was I did not expect it to be this good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Well, let's just get right into it, man. Maverick is back. Not only is he back, but he's living in a hangar, just like you thought he was.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And not only that, but he's been doing missions, and he's at, what I could tell, a training facility, not even a plane testing facility.
Yeah. He's become a test pilot.
He's a test pilot. He's
Yeah.
literally there to test.
It's like, hey, we just made this plane. You want to give it a shot? We need somebody to fly it.
we need somebody to fly it and take it
Let's-
as fast as it can.
Yeah. Let's see how far you could push this thing.
Big problem, though, in the first 10 minutes. If we don't make Mach 10 today, they're shutting down our program.
Yeah. We got the new planes. They're all drones. We
And-
don't. Pilots like you are obsolete.
You're a fossil.
Yeah.
He's being told. You're
Right.
You got to retire. What are we gonna do with you? You're an old
Right.
broken U.S. toy.
Right.
Spoiler alert for the film, by the way. So Scotty's little mini review got me so excited. I just dove head first. Okay, well, they tell, he flies this plane. You want to talk about the opening sequence here?
Man.
What in the world are we watching? He gets in that futuristic,
It's like
crazy plane that's
Almost
like
a blackbird.
It's a
Like an
space-
X-Men, something the X-Men would fly.
Did you guys see when they were filming this movie? Apparently, China was taking pictures of it because they thought they were military exercises
Yeah.
or something. So that's how committed they were in this
I
production.
mean, this is Tom Cruise, fellas.
He does not mess around.
I didn't even think about
Full speed
Yeah.
ahead.
I didn't even think about the military secrets
yeah,
aspect of this, where China's we got to get a copy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that or they're probably trying to film the movie themselves, pirate it, sell it on the corner or something. Who knows? But
Yeah, bottom pistol.
it just sets a great tone for what you're about to see. Maverick is still Maverick, right? A lot of these remakes sometimes we get a character we know and they're not the person we left.
Yeah.
Right. This is a new
and-
character now.
Yeah, this
but-
sets that this is the guy that you left 30 something years ago.
Yep. And we learned some things about him, right? Because he says at the end of the first movie, I'm going to be an instructor. I'm going to stick around Top Gun. I'm going to do this. He says this in the movie. I gave that a go. I lasted 2 months. It was not for me.
Yeah.
What am I? I'm a pilot, and that's what he loves to do. He likes to fly as hard as he can. And he does it here. He takes that plane to Mach 10. I mean, I had so many questions about this. He's flying around the Earth at Mach 10. It's amazing. I'd never seen anything like that. That plane going around the curvature of the Earth and like shooting. I was like, I've never seen anything like that.
Like, I don't even know what Mach 10 means.
I was like,
the 10 what?
The closest.
10 what?
It's those razor commercials.
Right.
Mach 10 razors.
Yeah.
Like, he has
more blades.
Yeah,
more
his face
coverage.
has got to be really smooth.
Yeah.
And he, but it looks. I was thinking, like, this looks better than like Iron Man blasting through the sky. You know, this looks fantastic. But of course, in classic Maverick style, he's got to go a little. He's got to push it.
He's like, you just need 10. You hit 10, and you come back. And he was like, yeah, sure.
Nope.
No.
10.1.
He got there, and he knew the plane was not going to make it, and he pushed the throttle even further.
10.1. 10.2.
And he didn't he whisper, "Come on, just a little faster.
There's a little bit more.
Just a little bit more."
And that's his thing, you know. That's Maverick. He's got to test these machines. And what's he do? He loses control. Massive accident.
It starts melting.
Oh, it's melting. Yeah. It blasts off in the sky. I mean, I'm like, Tom Cruise is going to be held up in the hospital for having this movie.
I didn't know this
He's
was
going
a
to a
space
diner,
movie.
guys. He's going to get some food at the diner.
He lands like astronaut style, small town, in his spacesuit, wanders in, takes a drink of water, unscathed.
Is that really survivable?
It's just dusty.
What the hell kind of emergency protocols does this thing have?
I told Carrie, I go, you don't wreck at Mach 10. Believe me.
Guys, he was in a spacesuit.
I've seen Fast and the Furious enough times to know
because
what type of things can happen in movies.
I felt like,
realistic.
There's no pull in your chute right now unless you want to float to space.
No. Oh, he definitely free-falled for a while.
All right, so he gets back. They're like, all right. I mean, I had a big question. Did you save the program? I feel like I don't know if they answered it.
I don't think he did.
It's like the program's over because his big thing was, I know what happens to everybody else if I don't. And I was like, well, good job, you pushed it. Now all those people got fired. And the general's like, you're out of here.
Yeah.
You're done. All the retirement stuff that we saw from that teaser 3 years ago, you know, like you're a fossil. We got new planes coming in. But damn it.
Somebody's pulling some strings.
Somebody's pulling some strings, and it hurts me to say it, but I'm sending you to Top Gun.
Yeah.
And just cue the music.
Yeah.
He's back on the motorcycle.
Got on his little motorcycle, his 80s motorcycle. Yamaha,
same jacket.
Like, yep.
Throws his leather jacket on with those patches.
Get a little danger zone.
I got chills.
Yeah.
I got chills when I was sitting there when it started up.
I did feel in the beginning of the movie a little bit like, I mean, at first I was like, all right, this is the same movie. You know, they're going to do the credits the same. Oh, the opening scenes of the people, the planes like taking off. But what they did was they, instead of like this long, 5 times as long, they reduced it to just this long. I feel like they shortened it all up.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you these fast tropes, 1, 2, but then like right into this fresh story, which what is it? Tom Cruise is at Top Gun. John Hamm is there, and he's the I don't like you. I didn't want you here.
Right.
I was forced this upon me by who?
Iceman.
He's running the show. He's an admiral. Yeah. He's an admiral.
And that's what they said. That's what they said to Maverick. Like, what are you doing with your life? You should have been in charge of everything by now.
And you're a captain.
And you're just a captain.
Yes.
So he's back.
He's back.
He can't wait to fly a mission. And what do they tell him?
Well, they give him the breakdown of this crazy mission of like, we got to bomb this place. And Tom's like, well, I think I could do it.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I was inverted.
I was inverted. give me some of these young hotshot pilots, right?
Yeah.
The best of the best are here still.
They could be my wingmen.
That's right.
I do like that we're stopping the unnamed country and or organization.
Yes. Zero mention.
Yeah.
They got to make sure that this
is going worldwide.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So these are just the people cooking up uranium.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are, where they're at.
I remember there was something with this movie where he had a certain patch on his jacket.
Oh, from the first one.
And they were like, "You're not going to do this. You're not going to put this movie in China."
Yeah.
And they were like, "All right, we'll edit out the patch."
Yeah. Of course.
Really?
It had something to do with I can't even remember.
Yeah, because I wonder if it was a little more pointed at any point, you know, where like then you get like some scenes of like them and their planning, but it's really just more of us like
named nothing. You can tell it's somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, for sure.
But they just names,
but
no countries.
No, because think of the weather though. I thought it was more like Russia.
Okay, well here we go.
Because it was like
good job,
snowy
good job
mountains.
to the Maverick
like
people.
yeah,
Yeah, in the forest, you got a little
I
forest
also
there.
I also feel like you kind of do that right now with the world as it is.
Yeah.
Like, the Russians are, we got more Russian villains again. But
I'm sure that the set people were like, if we just show 4 different terrains, they won't know.
Yeah,
that's
they'll
true. We
never
went
know. This
the
is like
desert, the valley,
The Simpsons in Springfield. Like,
Mountains.
where the hell is it?
Yeah, well, and he
I was hooked regardless. So,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
a crazy mission. How are they going to
Yeah.
pull this off?
exactly. That's the best part of the
Yeah.
movie, I think, is how are we going to pull
Yeah.
this off?
It's
So
down. It's in a crater on a mountain.
and the steep up, and it's hey, you know what was great? It was like Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
Not 2 meters,
Yeah.
3 meters wide
yeah.
is the
Right.
hole.
They were doing.
Yeah.
They were doing.
Maverick used to
the,
bust
the Death Star
Womp
trench
Rats
run.
back in
Yeah,
his-
that's
in the
exactly
day.
what it was.
Yeah.
I've seen this before.
And he's like, wait a minute, this is just like, and like, Tom Cruise is now like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do that all the time
Yeah.
back at my house.
Yeah.
He was straight up. We'll get there later. Never mind.
Go ahead.
I don't want to.
This is the time.
I was about to talk about something that happens later, so we'll get there.
That's all right. This is
Just
a jump
there's too
around.
many parallels to Star Wars. Like
It's-
it's just.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Mission to.
It's like they were flying to the Death
Oh,
Star.
yeah.
Like, he was straight up like channeling his dead dad when he
Oh,
was
yeah.
flying, and I was like, "This is
Talk to me,
this is-
Goose.
yeah.
Talk to me, Goose.
And we'll get there, but
Yeah.
even at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's he's there, he's gonna do it, and you meet all the hotshot pilots. Oh, here's a big coincidence. Oh, remember Goose? His son's here. Same mustache. Also sings the same song at the piano.
Yeah.
It was a little on the nose.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I mean,
but
why? I mean, come
well,
on, man, guys. Like,
apparently-
that was so on the nose. Like, but here's what I loved about it. He was there.
yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
was there. He was on the piano watching his dad and
Yeah.
Maverick.
Yeah.
sing
He was
that
sitting
song.
on the piano.
Tom Cruise had some reservations apparently about Miles Teller, and then when he saw him walk on with the tan, the haircut, and the mustache, he goes, "Oh, that'll work."
Dead
Dead on.
ringer. Oh my
Dead on.
God.
And
It was perfect.
apparently he like had a lot of people flown out to his personal home for character tests.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like you got a chemistry test.
Yeah.
Like let's see if we got some of this.
To
you
Tom
know?
to Tom Cruise did that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently, and Miles Teller coming in here. He's one of those guys that like he always feels a little bit like the same character, but it's always like he always tweaks it just enough where it's like it is its own thing. And
Yeah.
I've always really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always good.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I never have anything against. I think some of the movies he's been in haven't been great. Like the Fantastic Four one wasn't my
Fant
favorite.
Four stick.
Well, that's not the one I was talking about.
yeah.
I was thinking of the one where he's a drummer, and he's the student, and he's got the crazy teacher that is J.K. Simmons,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
J. Jonah
yeah.
Jameson. Yeah.
I can't remember.
and
the
he's
name
like,
of
and
it,
it's like,
but
I mean, I love that movie. That was
Yeah.
an intense one. But anyway,
Yeah.
so he does a good.
he does
job.
a great job.
Yep, and he got the hotshot pilots there. And here's the thing, man: these kids are so good that they, Tom Cruise says it right. They've been told they're the best of their whole lives. They've done high altitude bomb drops. They haven't had any dogfights, and this mission requires agility, fast turns. I mean, you're gonna have to make a track essentially in 2.5 minutes to make it work. And as a starting point, they're like, all right, see if you can do it in 4 minutes.
Right.
And he's gonna get these kids to be able to do this thing. He's not doing it. He's got to train them to do it. You got a lot of the characters that where they're, if you don't know who they are as a character, just listen to their call name and it'll help you a lot. Right? You got Coyote, who's always like yelling at people. You got the new Iceman, which
Yeah,
is like
Hangman,
because he'll leave you hanging.
Yeah.
You got
You got
Rooster,
Rooster.
because he's just perched up waiting for way too long.
Yeah. And you got Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
And then the girl, there's only one female pilot, which I figured statistically it might be true, but I
Yeah.
forget what her call name was. I don't know if anybody remembers. She gets chosen for the mission.
Yeah, no,
Karen?
I can't remember.
Karen and Bob.
All right.
Oh
so
wait, that movie you're referencing earlier, Whiplash.
Whiplash. That was it. So I mean, this is it, right? This is the classic, plane on plane, teammate action. You catch me instead of Maverick, from the original with his instructors coming out. Now he's
Yeah.
Viper, right? Wasn't it
Yeah.
Viper?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Viper's here. Now it's like, oh, Maverick's here. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Same.
And the whole thing at the bar where, she's making him pay for drinks and they round him up and they toss
Penny.
him out. Yeah. And then he comes back as their instructor. That was
just like, same scene too, and like
Yeah.
this, almost the same. If you guys were paying attention, it's like almost verbatim the same words as when, from the first movie, the female lead, Charlie. Her name is Charlie in the movie. As they announce her walking up in that scene, this is a consultant for the U.S. government. You don't have to salute them or whatever,
Right.
but you're going to listen and they're going to teach you what's what. And like, if you look at the shooting of that scene, they like kind of brought it back.
Mirrored, yeah.
And they mirrored it to where it's like, this is Maverick blank Mitchell, blah, blah, blah. And he walks in and like all three of them are just, the guys that threw him out of the bar. Just,
Yeah.
oh
My God,
no.
dang it.
Yep.
Let's talk about the female leads for just a second here. Talking about Penny in this movie, played by Jennifer Connelly, a new character. We talked about this just briefly. I guess Charlie's just gone,
Yeah, they don't even really have any mention of it, really.
No.
I don't think.
Kelly McGillis.
Yeah.
So, no mention, just kind of like, that was a summer fling. And like, here's another summer fling that's been going apparently on and off for many decades. Jennifer Connelly does a great job, has a daughter, has the same kind of summer romance feeling.
Yeah, I found it interesting that it was only Maverick that had the romance in this. I wasn't sure where they were going with that female pilot, because in the beginning it was like, is there something with her and Goose or
Right.
this other guy? Like, is there going
Right.
to be, is Hangman and Goose, sorry, not Goose, Rooster going to go after, this girl? And then they just kind of left all that alone. And I think it was for the better.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
Yeah.
I,
you don't
I
want it
like
to
what
feel-
they did. Yeah.
You
I
don't want it
almost
to feel-
didn't need the Jennifer Connelly
Yeah.
angle.
I agreed. I felt like that felt to me like it was like, we're going to work this in, just like when action movies, in the 80s came out, the main thing like that guys around me would complain about is like, oh, they had to work in that love story.
Right.
It
Yeah.
felt a little bit like that, but
Yeah.
like, I am also like,
It was
it's
fine.
important to someone,
Yes.
right? It's either it's important to one of the writers. It's like important to the character of Maverick that like he yearns for this, but he can never.
Right,
keep it.
right. Well, it shows some sort of character progression that you can look at through the movie and say, okay, he's grown because he was here and now he's here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. From here at the beginning to end.
Right. And it's it's easy for them to put this in here and scatter it about and create some filler.
Mm. Well, at the end of this, right, the training, John Hamm's like, "You're out. All right, you couldn't do it. Not only could you not get these kids to make this route, but you've convinced them that it's impossible."
Right.
I mean, where was it? I mean, come on, guys. He's always going to do this, right? But I love it. And he's kicked out of Top Gun again, but he says, "F it. I'm getting in my plane."
I'm just going to go
Yeah,
take a
I'm gonna
plane.
be
And he-
Maverick.
And I'm going to be Maverick. I'm going to fly this route because I said I could from the first get-go. I'm going to show them they can do it, and he does it.
He does it.
And he does
And
it.
in less time
Yeah.
than he needed.
Yes.
I think it was like 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes
Oh,
was the
gosh.
window.
Yep.
And then he did it in like 2:15
Yep.
and nailed it.
So all the while, okay, so there he's got that right. Kind of pause here. This is finally where they start addressing that like Rooster's dad was Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other pilots find out. It becomes a personal thing that could affect the mission. Very similar to how Maverick was questioned by Iceman in the first film.
You
like,
can tell there's a lot of animosity between Maverick and Rooster.
yes,
And it's not explained
yep,
until this point.
yes,
Like, what's the deal?
yep. And what we find out that he not only he was kind of like around during his childhood. It sounds like his mom got sick, Meg Ryan, and died. Did Meg Ryan actually die?
Yeah. That's what
No,
they said.
Meg Ryan's still alive.
No. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you meant the character. Like the character died.
I was
yeah.
like, oh no, did I miss
Well,
something?
Oh,
That's what
God.
I was saying. Is like, why kill her off? Like, what happened there? That had to be something weird,
Who knows?
They probably didn't want to pay her for this movie.
Maybe so. And he's trying to protect him from like dying as a pilot, like his dad.
Well, yeah, he had made the mom a promise.
And the mom asked him to like do what he could to not let him become a pilot.
Right.
And what he do? He delayed his schooling like 4 years.
Yeah.
He pulled his
Pulled his papers or
application, pulled his
something, yeah.
papers, and so it I think to the Naval Academy, and so
Yeah.
he like had to go in like normal and work his way up.
Wow. Yeah. Like, I mean, that big, like, if this is what you're doing, like, big slap in the face. And, like, they're going to have to overcome this. And not only that, but there's also, he kind of tells Jennifer Connelly, Maverick tells Penny, like, during pillow talk, like, I did that at the time also because, was he ready? I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
And is he ready now
I
is the
honestly
question.
didn't think he was ready.
Because what is this, right? You're going to have to pick at least 4 people. Turns out to be 3 people plus Maverick
Right.
for this mission. You got Goose here where that's like, pretty good, but like Hangman's really good, but like not the best because he's leaving people hanging.
But-
and there's this question of like, is Goose gonna get to like go on this thing? And there's like all this weight to it for Maverick.
Well, and don't forget the amazing how we get the team together sequence.
Oh yeah, the
The
gratuitous shirts off,
Oh yeah.
playing,
the
playing
homage
sports on
to
the beach.
to the volleyball scene.
Oh, I mean the
Balls
football.
everywhere.
The made up football game that I have never heard
Yeah.
of.
Oh, we're playing offense and defense at the same time, just like in dogfighting.
I'm gonna be honest. That was as soon as they got on the beach. I lean
I
over
was
to
like,
Carrie.
here
I
we
go.
go.
I gotta pee so bad. I go. This is when I'm going.
You
I was like,
miss-
from a storytelling perspective, I'm not gonna
Oh, yeah,
miss
you
anything here.
You missed
You
some huge plot points
a lot of balls
during that.
A lot of guys in the air jumping, bumping chests.
Yeah.
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 And
Spiking.
so more balls than just volleyballs and footballs. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they were using everything
Yeah.
out there.
how do you feel they did on the sports montage scene?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Lot-
you
lots
knew
of
it was
sun,
coming.
lots of
You knew it was
sand.
coming.
Sweat.
The biggest
Everyone
thing
was
was
glistening.
what song are they going to play? Like,
Yeah, I know.
that's where Lady Gaga's like, I got this.
Yeah.
this will be my scene.
Yeah.
Was it a Lady Gaga song?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
have
thought
no
hers was
idea.
the final song, but I could be
That
wrong.
might have been.
We also get to finally see Iceman. You know, he's referenced throughout the film, and turns out, I don't know if you guys know this. I guess Val Kilmer, he actually has what kind of disease?
Throat
Throat
cancer.
cancer,
Throat
yeah.
cancer, and it's so does Iceman essentially. And he can't hardly speak. But he finally calls Maverick in to say, how's it going at Top Gun? This mission needs to be done, and he's like, Rooster's just not ready, and he blames me for everything. And Iceman's like, you got to be Maverick and teach this kid what to do, but he's not a teacher, so
Yeah.
he's kind of putting him in this hard spot. Iceman asks him,
I thought the way they treated Val Kilmer was awesome in this.
yeah, what'd you think?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's typing out these answers, and then finally he
Right.
talks, which
Right.
you can hear it. This is a sick, like, actual man,
Oh, for
unfortunately,
sure.
who was like an massive like '80s hero. He's Batman at one point, like,
Mhm.
and I know there's a documentary about his whole life. I think on Hulu
It's on Prime.
or Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, our good
Wow.
friend Sarah actually highly recommended that
Yeah, I
documentary.
gotta watch that.
I'm gonna have to watch it as well.
But I just thought they did right by him too. This was
For
again
sure.
like they weren't changing characters; they were evolving them, growing them, and it just great.
Yeah, and there's like a reality of like we want to bring this character
Yeah.
back, and he obviously wants to be there.
Yeah,
And
and clearly he couldn't have been like a massive player, unfortunately, just because of his actual like situation. And so I thought what they did was really respectful and just good to the character and the actor.
yeah, and it felt true to like Maverick and Iceman, like having that moment at the end of the first Top
Yeah.
Gun. Just kind of like these two comrades, and it turns out that like he's been looking after him like all these years, like
Yeah,
always
right.
being his little guardian angel.
Yeah,
Saved
everything-
him who knows how many times.
Yep.
Everything you saw in the first movie mattered because that's been a part of their joint life since then.
Yep.
Which is cool.
And that's kind of where I jumped around a little bit. Spoiler alert here, Iceman dies.
Yeah.
And Guardian Angel's gone, and this is where John Hamm's like, get out, and that's
See
where
ya.
and that's where Tom jumps in the plane and does his thing and
Yeah.
gets everybody to go. So they tell him, John Hamm says like, all right, well, you're going to be the lead guy, pick your team, and he picks his team. Who's he pick? Bob. God, we should know this girl's name.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Thank you, Andy. God. And as the wingman, Hangman thinks it's him, but no, it's Rooster.
No, it's Rooster.
You're going in with me. What'd you guys think of that call? What'd you
I
think,
mean,
Scotty?
obviously.
It had to be.
Yeah,
But it seems kind of like it was for the movie. Because,
Yeah.
I think I would have picked Hangman.
for sure. Oh yeah, Hangman was the best.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good, and I know it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in a sequel maybe.
Yeah, you think there's more?
Top Gun
Well,
Hangman.
yeah, right. Is it just more call signs?
Won't leave you hanging.
So they go on the mission. I mean, great sequence here. I just can't talk enough about, like, the planes and the shots.
Oh man.
And like honestly, I've got to not to jump to the end, but like why I'm here personally, like
Mhm.
that's what I go for, and like this is where you get your payday. Like they're going through those mountains, the shots on the thing, just like they've showed you the whole movie, the climbing up and almost passing out, the missiles they told you were on the top, like here they come, they're gonna
Yeah.
hit you, like all the flares, everything upside down, the inverted flies.
Did you guys do IMAX?
No, did super
I
screen
think
DLX.
I think I messed up. We should have done I think we should have
There's
done
still
IMAX.
time.
Yeah.
I'm down for
You
I
told me
didn't
you
know-
didn't want to see it again on my birthday though.
another
Oh my
$5
God.
Tuesday. I'd
Busted.
be down to see an IMAX.
So you'd see it if it was cheaper, but not if it
Yeah,
was more
but
expensive.
not for someone's special day.
Not for
I
my
got it.
birthday.
Yeah.
I had things to do. Sorry. Jeez.
I'm just kidding.
This is definitely one you got to see in theaters, though.
Oh,
Like, if,
Oh, exactly.
if there's one summer movie, like, look, I love the Marvel movies. There's a lot of them, but this is something special, I think, right now, given everything else that we have.
And I would say IMAX. Go get
Yeah,
it. You know,
yeah.
if you got it
Get-
around.
whatever the best viewing experience is for you where you are, this is a like popcorn summer blockbuster movie that we haven't seen in a while, I think.
And you're gonna get basically. It's one of those movies that I love it. They give you like 3 or 4 times where you think the movie's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, okay, here's the first
Yes.
one. Everybody's getting shot at by the missiles. Oh, Rooster's gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Maverick makes the sacrifice and flies like literally
right in front of him. Like, took the bullet. Literally took it.
He took plane bullets
Yeah.
and goes
Boom. Crashed. You're like, shit.
he
well.
goes down and the team's like, get out of there. There's like,
Yeah, just leave him.
they did such a good story setup of like, trust me, you can't be staying over there. It's all about time. And they're like, let's get back. Okay, Tom Cruise, Maverick, he's on the ground now. He's running. Love
you're like,
this through the
wait,
woods.
He's not
He's
dead?
not dead. He's alive.
We again see nobody from that army. We don't know who they are, what
No,
they look like.
not a
It's like
person
just
in uniform,
random people
just-
in flight suits blurred in the background.
And a black helicopter that just rolls in and is like,
Yeah.
we're just a black helicopter.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No insignias,
Like,
nothing.
The face
no
mask,
flags.
it's like this. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
black.
even.
All
but-
black. It looks like the guy from Daft Punk.
But they got those,
Just a
what do they call them?
mask.
They got Gen 5 fighters. Isn't that what
Yeah.
it is? So they
Well,
got
yeah.
money. They
Yep.
got some money because they got these Gen 5 fighters. It tells
Gen-
that like 30 times.
Yeah, like that's a big part. Is like
Yeah.
we're no longer the best in the biz right
Right.
now. These guys
It doesn't
are the new-
matter how good you
Yeah.
are.
We are now out of the game.
Yeah.
And this helicopter's about to shoot Maverick on the ground, and boom,
Boom. Explosion. And I was like, yeah.
yeah, you loved it. Were you
I
like
loved
Were you
it.
like out of your seat?
For sure.
Oh my god, you're just like he made it,
Yes.
Rooster. And then Rooster immediately gets shot down. They're both on the ground.
Yeah, he sees him like, boom.
This is where the
And
movie.
he pops his chute and he's flying down. And here we go. We've got to have a scene with Tom Cruise running
Hard.
full speed.
Hard.
Like, he loves to run.
Yes, his Twitter bio says running in movies since
Yes.
like 1970 or
Yes.
whatever, 80 or whatever. And what they do it. They run across the field. They spot F-14.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Right?
they
They
meet.
see it in the hangar.
They meet back up, and he's got to give like, why did you come back?
Yeah, this is where the movie starts seriously downplaying like how serious like everything is.
Right. He's like, what were you thinking? Oh, well, you told me not to think. And he's like,
and all of us are
Shit.
laughing in the theater, and I was
Shit,
like,
yeah.
"You're in enemy territory right now. Like this
Right.
is crazy."
yeah. So they find the runway. They exploded.
That they blew up.
Yeah, they blew it up.
They blew up the runway, and I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be
Like,
freaking
yeah, what are
sick.
they gonna do? Find a helicopter or something? No, they find an old F-14, like old.
like so old that it's missing like the radio and
Yeah.
like the technology's old, but it's like it's a plane that he's flown before."
And he's got to show Rooster how it works. Like, Rooster has no idea how this antique piece of equipment
so
operates.
many buttons.
So many buttons. He's like, "Yeah, you got to flip the fuse back there."
Yeah,
And he's like,
he looks back there,
there's-
and it's just like there's 150 fuses.
He's like, "That was more of your dad's department." And I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, if I was Rooster, I'd be like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
like way
yeah.
too soon."
Whoa, man!
Like, we haven't hardly talked about this.
He's like, I'm still mad for you pulling my application, let alone
Yeah,
my
right.
dad dying.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
just because
right.
of that little moment in the woods.
Like, you probably would have learned that in your first 4 years had I not like booted you.
you learn the right way. But hey, they get this plane in the air, and we get an epic scene with 2 enemy pilots coming up on them. They don't have a
Yeah.
radio. The great scene with "Don't got any comms."
Yeah, nothing.
And he's and the other guy's like,
Yeah, it's like tell him to steal third base or something.
and Rooster's like, "Do you know what that means?" And Tom goes, "No, Maverick,
No idea.
no idea." He's like, "What about that?" And he's like, I don't know. I
Nothing.
don't know anything. He's like, "Okay,
Foreign language.
yep, foreign language." I love that. That was realistic. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then just shoots one down.
Yeah,
But
he just immediately throws on the brakes and takes that guy
takes
out.
one out.
And you were like, yes. Oh, it's all downhill for these guys from here.
This is it. He can take on these 2 planes
For sure.
He can be in a dogfight in this thing.
Right. Well, it's only one plane.
And now it's one plane.
And now it's one plane.
yes.
And-
it's zoom, zoom, zoom.
all kinds of in-action dogfighting.
Flares.
Loved it.
We're
Oh,
out of
man.
flares. We're out of bullets.
We're out of bullets. We're out of missiles.
no radio. We're flying to space.
Nothing.
And I'm just going to fly to space. You hit the eject button, the ropes, Rooster.
They
Don't work.
Nothing. You got nothing.
I was like, well, at least he won't hit his head on the canopy.
I know.
Well, that's not how he's gonna die.
Yep, exactly. And out of nowhere.
Oh, they
ahead.
take him out.
Well, Hangman.
No. He took out the other plane,
He took out the first one.
and then he's trying to fly back, and here comes another one.
And they do a tussle, and then he's like, I'm just going to have to take this to the sky.
Yeah,
And this is where Hangman saves the day.
just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Bam!
Blam, blows it up, and nice moment. Let's
Totally.
all fly home.
Totally Han Solo'd it.
Yes. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Well, Han
Yeah,
Solo.
I like that.
Well, that's not fair, because Hangman wanted to go, and he kept trying to go. Han
Right,
Solo
right,
was
right.
like, I'm not going unless I get more money.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen when he was like the standby pilot sitting in the plane
Yeah.
on the carrier. You're like, he's taking off at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just
they're
sitting
like,
there
we got to
waiting.
go out there and get
Yeah.
him. And they were like, no. And he's like, okay, well, this guy's the new
But
Maverick.
I will give him
Yes.
credit because that gave me like in the back of my mind, I'm like, who's dying in the trench run to where he's got to like
Yep.
take off. So I'm like, which one of these planes is going down before they even get there? And then he's got to like catch up or something. But
Yeah.
then when they got out of it, I'm like, oh, he's going to save him at some point.
yeah,
for
for
sure.
Yep, nailed it. And he totally did. And I love this because everybody comes home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrie said it best. I don't think
I
they're going to
thought
get.
for sure they were going to end
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
And I was
There's
for
a-
sure it was going to be Maverick.
There's a cut out there where Maverick's dead.
Oh, man.
I mean, this movie was called Maverick, and I think it's kind of a weird thing to like, Maverick. I guess he is Top Gun, so I like it. But like, putting the call sign in the title. One thing that was funny about that is it didn't really work for the opening read card, where it's like in 1981 of the blah, 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 they called it
Top Gun.
Maverick.
Maverick.
Oh yeah, that's the same title that was in the first movie.
Yeah.
too.
I'm telling you, the first 5 minutes, I kind of went like this. Like I was like, I watched this movie
yeah,
yesterday.
we're gonna rehash this.
We're
or
gonna
what?
rehash the exact same opening, but it still worked.
Mhm.
But everybody comes home. Maverick's good.
They got the same, action photo.
I mean, there's still like, the whole crowd.
Like
on the-
everybody's like, yeah,
we did it. Which I was like, this is a big deal,
Yeah.
They did do it.
Get the iconic photo.
Yes, him and somebody
Shaking
hands.
hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rooster.
Rooster and Hangman.
Was it?
Don't they do that?
No, I thought it was.
Andrew?
I thought it was Maverick and,
Maverick?
and Rooster.
And it was
Oh,
the
No,
same.
it was
same as the
Rooster
photo of.
and Hangman because they were
Yeah.
they
Maverick
were
and Goose.
frenemies,
Yeah.
and now they're friends. And now the next movie will be Top Gun, Rooster.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Top Gun Bob. Like I want to
Oh
know more
yeah,
about
Bob
Bob.
was such a great character.
What a
And
clutch player.
Did we ever find out why he was just Bob? Why he didn't have a cool nickname?
They didn't really tell him why. I think it was because he was kind of like plain Jane.
Mm.
He's just like you can't imagine this guy's actually bombing places with like people in it. Like he's just like this normal white nerdy dude.
Yeah.
Which I thought there was a little bit of like make sure we it wasn't like it was just like trying to give the crew of students all their own little flavor.
Yeah.
Well, he goes back. Maverick goes home. He goes back to his hangar. Rooster's there now. They're working on the plane together. They're friends again. And also Penny shows up and with her daughter and was like, I'm here too.
In a nice, I think she rolls up in like a Porsche.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Like a
nice.
really nice car. I'm like, man, that bar must do really well.
Just having a great time. She's just at the
Yeah.
she's just ringing that bell at the bar, just having the time of her
what
life.
a jerk.
I was like, hey,
Like,
stop that.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. that was
$500.
She's like, your car's
Rude.
declined. I was like, hey, listen, I like literally can't afford this.
Right. Like, this is going to take me months to pay back.
Don't you know I'm just a captain in the Navy?
Right.
Anything else? Was there any end credit scenes?
Yeah, you guys didn't see the end credits?
I didn't.
There wasn't one. I
No,
was joking.
don't do that to me.
That's Top Gun Maverick.
Make up an end credit scene. What would you guys want it to be?
I mean, it would definitely be like what's one thing you didn't see? Like, this is what we should do, as we get ready to rate this thing, is like, what were the things you saw from this movie that like tied to the last movie, but like, what was it that you liked about this movie that was different too? Because there was so many tropes, right? They hit a lot of tropes where you're going to get the Tom Cruise on the motorcycle. You're going to get a lot of lines from Tom Cruise to these kids about like, you gotta have what it takes.
Yeah.
And there was a lot, man. They did a lot of the little nods to the old movie. I loved it, but I don't know, maybe something else with Goose or
like Goose, Force Ghost.
more Tom Cruise breaking the rules every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing whatever the F he wants.
Yeah. Oh, hard deck is 5,000 feet. You took these kids down to 300.
yes, and
Like you got to ask me for permission.
you got to put it in writing.
Yeah. What do you got? What's this folder? This is permission to lower the hard deck to 300 feet.
Or he's like, John Hammond's like, I got a hard decision to make. Either send you home or make you team leader. And then, Maverick's like, well, sir.
Put my career on the line and let you lead this mission.
And the other
he's like,
it's rhetorical.
what I wanted to do.
It's rhetorical.
Yeah.
The other general goes, it's rhetorical. So it's like, you get this Maverick, like, it's just hilarious. He's like still this character, but now he's, 52 or whatever.
Yeah. Like he didn't progress at all from the end of the other movie.
Yeah, he's definitely got like a lot of the same issues he had when he was a kid.
For sure.
All right, Dan P, let's do some final roundtable thoughts. What'd you think of this movie? How'd it go for you?
Absolutely loved it. Couldn't recommend seeing it in theaters more right now. Everything about it was fun. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. If I wasn't laughing or just smiling or reminiscing, like I didn't watch the movie beforehand because I had a feeling it was going to be very similar, and so I didn't want to make those comparisons. I'm probably going to watch it like this week actually.
I like
but
that.
I just loved it. It was a good time, and like I said, highly recommend it.
Let's do a rating. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.8.
Hell yeah, Giggler, lay it on us.
Oh baby,
3.8, hell of a score.
3.5 for me.
Okay.
I mean, this is I can't believe this is better than the first one. I did not expect that at all. And I'm not a Tom Cruise fan really at all. I think he's weird. But...
All right.
Sorry, Scotty.
Sorry, Scotty.
Like I don't know. I have never seen any of the Mission Impossible movies.
You should watch Valkyrie.
God.
No.
You gotta watch Valkyrie.
I have never watched Mission
Oh,
Impossible.
man.
Impossible either.
I'm glad I'm not the only
Mission
one.
Impossible.
They're really
We
good.
saw the trailer.
great.
The trailer looked great.
They're so good.
Okay,
But-
Andy.
I love how they brought in like the new guns that they're going to bring in, and I mean I could see there being another one, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to top this. Like how could you do that? But I mean it hit on all cylinders.
Yep,
definitely, and who knows? We'll see what happens from here.
Hell yeah. All right, well, I saved you for, I'll go first. I want Scotty to go
All right,
last. So,
all right, go
I gave this thing, I'll go and start with my rating as well. Well, actually, I'm not like Andy, so I'm not going to do that. I got to talk about it first. I got to talk about it first. That's the way my brain works.
I just got to get it out of the way. Otherwise, I might change it because
by the time you get to the end.
Again, this happened today where I almost increased my score because of us talking about it, getting me more excited. And
Get you
now I'm like,
jazzed.
I want to see the movie again.
Oh my
Damn
God.
it. And I didn't want to see the movie
No,
again,
you
like, a
did
day
go.
ago.
That is great. Well, that's
So,
what I love about
thank you
this
guys for that.
podcast. Yeah,
Right.
you're getting excited about it. All right, man. I'm with you, Andy. I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I have not seen the Mission Impossible movies either. I'm not saying I don't like him. I think he's great, and
All right,
like
good
just
save. Good
one of
save.
the biggest name actors of all time. Like from like one of the most influential times of making movies ever, the 80s. And like here he is, just still producing films that entertain, and this film entertained. I think the story had problems. I think that like this is not a movie that you're looking really close at the story. I think that Tom Cruise and Jerry Bruckheimer would agree with me if I said this is an entertainment piece for fans with a really great story that you're going to be able to follow and enjoy. And I totally did. So, I could pick apart the love stories or the kind of like empty speeches, that kind of like, they're not really saying much of anything. It's more of just like, you can do it, But these planes and getting the shooting the way they do on the ground and in the air, I can't believe that this is a movie we got to see, because this is a real treat for, kids nowadays watching this for the first time. As an adult, man, I was exhilarated. Like I was on the edge of my seat feeling tense 5, 6, 7 times in this movie where I'm like, geez, when is this chase going to like drop?
For sure.
And you're just kind of going through that through the whole film. So I had a great time. I could totally see myself putting this on the TV at home, watch it in 4K and just have like another great ride with the surround sound in my house. So for that and for the experience and the fun I've had and the feeling on the 4.0 scale, I'll totally give it a 3.4.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Scotty
All right.
Scoop, wrap us up.
This is a formulaic, perfect Tom Cruise movie. from start to finish. This is what Tom Cruise does. A perfect summer blockbuster. Start to finish. Edge of your seat. There were several times during the movie I had to wrench my hand away from Shanna because she was squeezing it so hard in some of the tense points. And will this man ever age? I mean, he just keeps doing it over and over and over. And, you may not like all of his movies, but he's got staying power.
Oh yeah.
Since the 80s. He's been doing this for 40 years. And man,
that's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, you see all Stallone and you see the Schwarzeneggers and they're all out of the game and looking tired and old, and Tom Cruise is still doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it well.
By himself.
But yes, he's always holding these movies on his own. Yeah, the story had issues, but I think it was perfectly cut together. Like I don't think there was a wasted minute.
You didn't feel like, nowadays a thing that we talk about on movies that come out past 2020 is like reshoot feelings and things.
Right.
But,
and this was on the shelf for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think they touched it at all.
Right. The only thing, maybe just hiding the country, the enemy.
Yeah. Man, I had such a great time watching this movie, and I'm gonna go with my boy Dan over here and go 3.8.
Hell yeah, good round of scores, fellas. Top Gun Maverick, that's what we thought about it. People on IMDb are calling it 8.7 out of 10, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Just an unbelievable score.
That's
really
high praise.
Good. That is high praise. Tom Cruise tweeted about the film, of course. Thank you to
us?
I mean, no. Not yet. Thank you to everyone who saw Top Gun Maverick and helped make it a historic opening weekend. He also said 36 years after the film, Top Gun Maverick is finally here. We made it for the big screen, and we made it for you, the fans. I hope you enjoy the ride this weekend. We also heard from Mike Key in our Facebook group. Love this guy. He came on for our Fast and Furious films, and now he's talking to us about Top Gun. He says, I really enjoyed Top Gun Maverick. It was a little cheesy at times, but I loved it. Miles Teller led an amazing new cast. The visuals were stunning. And Tom Cruise was so good, I forgot how much he weirds me out in real life. I want to see it again in IMAX. 3.6 out of 4. Mikey.
Sounds like someone I lived with for 8 years.
For anyone that doesn't know, that's just a hilarious sounds like someone I lived with for 8 years.
That's true.
But it's a true thing. I love it. I think he's right. Tom Cruise. What's up with Scientology? I don't really know.
Well, he's dating Captain Britain now.
Yeah, Captain Carter.
Yeah,
Haley
Captain Carter.
Atwell.
Yeah, she's in the next
There's
Mission
something in
Impossible
that
movie.
Scientology, I guess.
Scotty, what happened to Katie Holmes?
She wasn't down, I guess.
It just didn't work out.
Didn't work. They got Surrey Cruise.
Surrey Cruise.
Yeah, that's their child.
Oh, that's the kid.
Yeah.
They got one. He has one kid.
I think
don't
he's
remember.
got
I think
he
he's got a
had
couple.
some with Nicole Kidman as well.
And some fun facts about the film before we wrap up Top Gun and head into the break before we talk about some Star Wars. Guys, here we go. Tom Cruise. This is also IMDb Pro. Tom Cruise is now older than Tom Skerritt was when he played Viper in the original Top Gun. Tom Cruise first publicly confirmed this movie in an interview on the Australian morning show Sunrise.
We all watched that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you guys saw that probably live.
Good eye,
At
right?
1 a.m. Miles Teller was cast in the role of Goose's son, beating out the likes of Nicholas. Who's that, Andy?
Nicholas
Holt?
Holt. That's
Holt?
Beast from the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
really?
Yeah.
And then Glenn Powell. Who's that?
No idea.
No clue.
And this is that fun fact I was saying earlier about, he flew out these guys for chemistry tests. Jumping down here at the bottom here, we have in 2010, Christopher McQuarrie originally wrote Maverick as a minor character, not a feature character, just one of the other pilots. And they're like, this one's a little crazy. Let's run with it. And then Jennifer Connelly is playing Maverick's new love interest after Kelly McGillis wasn't cast for the sequel. No story as to why.
Yeah, nothing.
All right, guys, Top Gun Maverick, there it is in the books. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to write us into the show and tell us what you thought of this film, we'd be happy and would love to feature you on Fan Mail on the show. And with that, we're going to go into a quick break, and we're going to change up the universes when we come back. Get ready for Star Wars, talking about a brand new series on Disney Plus called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Bank the Light, a podcast about the Wheel of Time show on Amazon. We also talk about the books.
I'm Justin, and I've been a fan of the Wheel of Time books since the 90s.
I'm Desmond, and I just jumped on board with the show.
Together, we make a great combination of the longtime fan
and the freshly initiated. Quickly tell them what makes the Wheel of Time so great.
15 books, quickly. Okay. There's monsters with no eyes. There's Trollocs that are gross and stinky. There's magic involved. I love these books so much. They were such a part of my childhood. They really shaped who I was as a person, so I don't know what else to say. Magic, pirates.
The Wheel of Time podcast is found wherever you listen to great podcasts.
What is up, everybody? I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
And we host Comic Book Club, a weekly live talk show and podcast about comic books, 7 p.m., Crowdcast and YouTube, as well as your regular podcast listening places, iTunes, Stitcher, etc. And every week, we bring on the absolute best guests from the world of comic book, right?
Comic
statement.
books, TV, film. We cover everything. You can come be part of the magic and lightly insult us throughout our recording Tuesdays at 7, or just listen on your own time.
Yeah.
We also have comedians on there as well. It's a fun time.
Yes, thanks. It sounds like you're having fun, Pete. Pete actually is the guy who hosts our trivia where you can win a $25 gift card to Midtown Comics every single week. You can use it in the safety of your own home. Come check us out. We would love to chat with you about comic books, have a little fun, talk about some old 4-color funnies.
Ah, nice. Fresh ref to close it out.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. Back here in the studio, in the basement in St. Louis, Missouri, with Scotty Scoop, the Giggler, and Danny Patreon in the 4-seat. So excited to be talking with my friends about some stuff. We just talked about Top Gun, and boy, that was fun. Didn't realize how much fun I had during that movie until recapping it with you guys, and I want to do the same thing right now in a whole different universe from a galaxy. Well, I messed it up already. Long time ago in a
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Dan,
There you go.
you just proved it.
For the save.
Thank God we called this guy.
This is why we called him. Dan, apparently Star Wars is your stuff. Tell us about your relationship with Star Wars real quick.
Yeah. Been a massive Star Wars fan for a long time. I watch the original trilogy every year at least once. And then whenever the movies are coming out, I tend to watch them all going up to the most recent one. It's been, being a Star Wars fan is interesting over the course of the years. It's hard when the best thing ever made about the property you love the most was the first thing ever made. So the prequels, while I think have merit and I enjoyed them at the time because I was at the right age when it came out, they don't always hold up. I think the story and what George Lucas was trying to tell was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think George Lucas struggles with writing dialogue, and thus you have amazing actors and actresses like Natalie Portman that just sounds bizarre by, Revenge of the Sith and, you're breaking my heart, Annie, and it's just weird. But then Disney bought it and it was like, okay, this is exciting. This is like the new age of Star Wars, and they were high on all the Marvel stuff. And I was so excited. They signed J.J. Abrams. They signed all these, actors and actresses. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be great. And it's been a mixed bag, and I think they would admit it. And, now we don't even really know what the next feature film is actually going to be. They've announced so many that haven't come out. And so for me, like, I've read the books, I've played the video games, I've read the comics. I know I have all this knowledge of expanded universe stuff that is essentially like worthless now because it's all just a quote legend.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because it was fun at the time. And that's what Star Wars is to me. It's a fun in the moment experience. That's why I like the movies, even if I have a lot of qualms about the new stuff. I always have a good time sitting down, watching a space odyssey, watching spaceship fights and lightsaber battles and, usually some sort of growth of the characters. And so, it's been an up and down moment with the Disney films. My favorite one of the new, since Disney has bought them, is actually Solo. A lot of people might not agree. I'm not saying it's the best one. Rogue One's probably the best one they've made. However, Solo's the most fun to me.
Yeah.
And it looks like everybody in that movie is having fun. And that movie is a situation like what I think of Justice League that they just did with Zack Snyder, that I would be interested to see the original cut of that movie, because I think, didn't Ron Howard redo Justice League also? Because that's who.
No, that was
somebody else.
Joss
Whedon.
Whedon.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So Ron Howard had to come in and like refix Solo, and I would be really curious to see what the original creators, which I believe was the guys that did the Lego movie, had put together, because you can tell there's like a shift in tone in that. But it was just fun to me. Donald Glover, the guy who played Han, like they were all spot on for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I think they're all great.
And then, God, the 7, 8, and 9, like 7's probably the best. Then it's a toss up in 8 and 9 because they just didn't know where they were going.
Yeah.
And that has J.J. Abrams written all over it. I like J.J. Abrams, but I think he can tell a great single story when he tries to tell out a long narrative. Just like in Lost, I don't know if he knew where he was going with it. And I just think you need somebody helming the ship like you have over at Marvel to give us a more consistent experience. I'm excited with what they've done in the TV shows, at least from that perspective, with Dave Filoni and with
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau. I got to see the release. So I went to Star Wars Celebration right before Episode 9 came out. So I actually got to see.
Where's that?
That was in Chicago that year.
Okay.
It moves around. I think next year it's actually going to be like over in Europe. But I'll probably go again at some point. It's one of those things that you don't need to go every year personally, but it's fun to go every now and then. And going before Episode 9, I got to see the trailer live in this big auditorium. I got to see the Mandalorian trailer before they released it.
Damn.
Which was really cool. And then I got to see all those people live, like right up on stage. And the trick for that convention was they had a little beer stand right where all the celebrities would walk through before they get up on stage. So my cousin and I went together and we stood at that beer stand, and I got to meet like all the actors, because everybody else is by the stage, but it's like if you stand back here where they're walking in and have a beer, you actually get to see them. So
and you're holding the beer, super approachable.
Yeah. they're like these guys are having a good time here. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So love Star Wars. Excited to talk about it today. I think you guys do a great job talking about it. From like, this is the other thing, we talked about like why I like listening to you guys. Like, you guys, I don't think are massive Star Wars fans. So when you talk about it, that gives me the like, okay, what does everybody else think? Like this is important to me, but it's just fun to hear different perspectives. So
no, you did a great job. It's a fair share, and you're so right. Like it's something about the show where I know I want to talk about something. I know that I'm not the biggest super fan of that thing. It's not like I'm just bringing you guys all the stuff that I'm a huge fan of. It's like, this is a story I want to talk about, and it's so important to bring fans in here that are excited about the areas, and like having Scotty and Andy here that you can tell the stuff that they love. And now we have you here. I can see your energy. I mean, you went to Star Wars Celebration Day. I love it. Let's get into it for today, because you kind of helped us already with our Star Wars recap. I mean, that first movie, coming out from George Lucas, what was it,
78?
Yep.
78 with the first Star Wars film, Episode 4, and here we go. 30 years later, the prequels come out, and we get this character that you met so long ago called Obi-Wan Kenobi, and here we are in 2022. Ewan McGregor is back. The series is on Disney Plus. We are 3 episodes down. We have 3 to go. Spoiler alert right now, because we're going to talk about it. The fact that this is a TV show isn't so insane to me, because Ewan McGregor is probably my favorite Star Wars character, Obi-Wan Kenobi, at least his version. Not even just the version of Obi-Wan I saw in A New Hope. This version, I'm a big fan of the prequels. I actually enjoy those movies because of exactly what you said you love about Star Wars. I want to be in a new world that's just different, active, and seeing them go through, like, these are the different parts of the government, and this is how, like, these things are decisioned. I was like, this shit's awesome. So I had a good time, and we did rewatch these coming into this film, or into this series, I should say. But man, let's talk to you, Scotty Scoop. What was it like? This is a show that was also announced so long ago. Who's Obi-Wan Kenobi to you? Star Wars to you? I don't know if we've ever really got into the franchise with you too much, because this might be our first Star Wars centric episode that we've had you on as one of the co-hosts. So I want to hear about it.
kind of just like Dan, I was introduced on the original trilogy, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was, not really a huge part of that entire trilogy. And I think I was, when did episode 1 come out? Was that 99?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I was 19 years old, and man, I know the prequels get a lot of hate, but I'm one of the people who's just like, I love it.
This is great.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
more Star Wars. We don't have a lot of Star Wars.
Yep.
Unless you're reading comic books or old novels that are now non-canon,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't get Star Wars stuff. And when they came back out, I was like, man, this is great. And, Ewan McGregor, probably my favorite character from that original or the prequel trilogy. So I was really excited to see this. I'm like, man, they're bringing him back. And I like that a lot of this stuff that they're releasing now is gap filler stuff. Filling in
Big
these
areas.
huge gaps of time that we got in between movies.
Yep.
And everything else. And yeah, I was really amped for this to come out. I watched the first episode at the time that it dropped, I think like 11 p.m.
Oh, nice.
Like as soon as they were like,
Which was like a
hey,
surprise. It was like, hello.
Yeah.
they were like, hey, we're dropping
They
it.
bumped it
And I
up.
was like, boom.
Hell yeah. Well, you're going to hear from all of us during this one. I like that we're talking about the lead into this and the filling in of the areas of time that we're curious about from a Star Wars standpoint, getting into the story. And actually, before we even do that, do a little recap of you get a nice recap of the prequels, but we're going to do it a little bit on this show too, just so we can nerd out a little bit about the folks that made this series. It's directed by Deborah Chow. Again, this is on Disney Plus, but it is, according to IMDb, produced by Lucasfilm. Still very much involved inside the house of Disney. Writers John Harold, George Lucas, Hossein Amini, Stuart Beatty. Producers Catterly Frauenfelder, Thomas Hayslip. Composed by John Williams, of course, and Natalie Holt. And let's look at the cast here. We got, of course, Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan. Help me with that top one. Who they got? Oh, of course, Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Vivian Lyra Blair.
Say it one more time.
Vivian Lila Blair.
Just read all those,
As
Andy.
Leia. We got Moses Ingram as Reva. Soon Kang as Fifth Broker. We have Grand Inquisitor Rupert Friend.
Yep.
Hayden Christensen, of course.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. Big spoiler.
Kumail Nanjiani is the
He's great.
Just weaseling his way into everything.
I was like, what? I don't know. Weasel is a great
Love
way to
it.
describe his character. So
yes, that's what I
good call.
mean.
But yeah, that's
Joel
the big ones there.
Edgerton.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton
Back
is Owen.
as Uncle Owen.
Well, let's talk about the prequels again, just for a hot second, man. Did anybody else rewatch these coming into this?
Nope.
No.
No, but
What?
I appreciate that little breakdown that they had at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
that's all I
well,
needed.
5
I
minutes.
forgot that they would do that. So, but I got
9 hours later, Logan's ready to
well,
watch.
here's what's really fun.
Obi-Wan.
Worth it.
Carrie was like, "What do you?" I was like, "People complain about these," and she's like, "What don't they like?" I'm like, "I don't think they like that. There's not that much action, and it's a lot of bureaucracy." And like they start talking about midichlorians and Jedi, and people just get lost.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I loved that." I was like, "Me too." What do you think, Dan P?
Yeah, the prequels took a lot of mystery out of the originals. Like, you got the whole story of Boba Fett, and he's a clone of Jango Fett, and all the clone troopers are Boba Fett's clones, and then like midichlorians took like the mysticism out of the Force, because it was like, oh, it's a
It's magic.
it's a
Well,
microorganism,
it's not magic,
but it's not
science.
science,
And we can measure it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think the other thing was George Lucas during that time got really obsessed with the special effects. And at the time, they were pretty groundbreaking. But they do not hold up great in today's day and age, especially Attack of the Clones.
And this has to be like maybe watching. I mean, here's a big thing that's different nowadays. You're watching these on Disney Plus. Are you because I know what you mean. You watch them and they don't hold up. Well, I'm thinking that they've updated all these things and they're just continuously tweaking them. Like,
No.
have you guys noticed
Like
this?
they look that much better. They look that much better now.
I
do you?
think so. I think because I know what
Okay.
you mean. Because I've watched like the old DVDs and I'll be like, oh my god, But like I watched this on Disney Plus and I was like, I swear they're just they're just fine tuning
Something
everything.
smoothing some stuff
Yeah,
out.
I've noticed this in Marvel movies too, where like a scene will be missing or like just a little take, and I'm like, oh, they're just tweaking it a little.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I know they've done that for some stuff. I think the jarring thing was when I watched like the making of, especially Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
It's like them in front of just all green screens. They're just in a studio. Everything's a green screen.
Yep.
Like I think the lightsaber battles, like especially the one with Darth Maul,
Hell yeah.
And the first one is amazing.
It's perfect.
Like,
it looks legit.
The prequels have all the pieces. It's just how they put it together that I think people have problems with.
What do you think about a Jar Jar Binks? That's a big trope.
You got to sell some toys, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This
is for
George
kids.
knew this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's for kids.
And we're going to talk about it. Putting kids in Star Wars has, I think, always been problematic to the story.
Yeah.
And I think this show repeats that in some ways.
Yeah, we got to get those younger generations, the people that'll be buying movie tickets and having these podcasts 20 years from now.
Dan's about to execute Order 66. Over there.
What do you, he sounds like Anakin. No kids.
No, but I mean, like think of the Marvel movies. What Marvel movie has a kid in it, and what is the most like uninteresting part of that Marvel movie?
Yeah,
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Like he's like hanging out with this kid, and it's like, why is the kid in here?
Somewhere in
straight there
he did
too.
it be relatable.
I think we need to change his nickname to Lord Patreon over here. Rise, Lord Patreon.
I love it. I want to see the dark side rise up in here tonight. All right, well, let's get into where these prequels left off. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's going to take Luke and Leia, separate them. Leia's going to go be a rich senator's daughter on Alderaan, and Luke gets to go live in the desert in Tatooine with his aunt and uncle, and Obi-Wan's going to watch over him. And this is how the Republic has fallen at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. It's great because these three allies split up responsibility.
Yes.
So Senator Organa, who then is Leia Organa, he
Mhm.
takes Leia. He's like, my wife and I have always wanted a daughter.
And this actor, you guys know his name?
Jimmy Smith.
And he's back.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in this.
Yep.
So he takes Leia.
Yep.
And then Obi-Wan is like, I know where I can take Luke, and he takes him to Uncle Owen, who's actually Anakin's stepbrother.
Yep.
Because his mom remarries. And so he takes him there, which is kind of like ironic. It's like, I'm going to take you to the one place, like, I guess he wouldn't think to look where he's from. Like,
Right.
And where he had been in Attack of the Clones when he went back to save his mom.
Oh, yeah.
He was just there. I kind of thought about that a little bit. And
So-
Yoda's there, and he's like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you watch over the kid. And not only that, but, like, I'm going to teach you how to whisper to dead Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yep. Yeah.
Liam
'cause
Neeson's
that's-
best character of all time,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Debatable.
Pretty
What's
good.
better?
Yeah, name it.
Taken.
I mean,
I know.
that's
That's close. It's
anything
probably
anything
right.
less obvious?
Probably right. At least he didn't get killed in
Probably
that one.
not. Yeah.
All right. And this is just like Scotty said. All right, so the next time you don't see anybody is 30 years go by until you get grown up Luke Skywalker and
Right.
meeting old Ben in the desert. What happened in between?
Yep.
They're going to tell you.
What a great alias. I used to be Obi-Wan, but I'm just old Ben. Nobody will put two and two
Old
together.
Ben.
I'm old Ben.
You mean old Ben Kenobi?
Old Ben Kenobi.
Right. Like, didn't even try.
Not trying at all.
Yeah.
Like, definitely not on my old home planet where I grew up.
Well, again, he's going to show us in this TV show that he is not good at like lying to people and being a spy.
No.
Yes.
So,
I love where the show drops you in. We already gave that spoiler alert. This is the first 3 parts. They're calling these episodes parts, and parts 1 is going to drop you in right around the time of the prequels, going back to that Jedi temple when Anakin first went to the dark side with the Order 66.
Order 66.
And they're killing the young Jedi, and you get a small group of young Jedi fighting it off. It looks like they leave the temple. Flash forward 10 years. Here we are on Tatooine. Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's been 10 years.
10 years.
Oh, my God.
Hello there.
Hello there. And here he is. He's watching over Luke. He's hiding in the cave. He's working at a local place to make some money. It looks like he's to take home a little fish every day.
Butchering space whales.
He's got this beard, and he's there on screen, and I'm sitting here going like, this is it. We're watching this show about this guy. We got a Jedi show.
I cannot believe this is happening.
This is great. He's
wheeling and dealing with Jawas.
Yeah, he's got a Jawa friend that's kind of helping him out.
Stealing his parts and selling them back
which
without
I'm
cleaning.
still wondering how that guy's going to come back, the Jawa. Which also, like the Jawa thing with subtitles, I'm like, well, this is new. Like sometimes we do subtitles on the Jawa, sometimes we don't. Like,
Sometimes it's just
Star Wars gotta figure yeah, because usually what they do is like the human character translates what they're saying by the way they speak back to them. But I was like, I subtitles I can roll with it. I just anything that breaks me out of the fact that I'm like I want this to be a living thing. Like the first, like there's no subtitles in the original ones. Like think how many times the Ewoks are saying stuff and they're just like talking to them.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
just know the language.
For sure.
Chewie's talking.
R2's beeping and blooping.
And
Yeah,
and somebody turns around and just goes like, okay, well, we're going to head off there. And you're like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what they
we're
figured
going.
out. We're
So-
going.
BB-8. Yeah, we
Yeah.
know what you're saying. Let's go.
They catch you up real fast. You know, it's he's going to kind of do the drill, right? Like, let's see what he does in Tatooine. He's headed to Luke soon, pretty much right away. And he's left him a little toy, it seems like, a plane, right?
Yeah, that's was it T81 Hopper or something. Luke is actually playing with that in A New Hope.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that's getting back in
Right.
his hands. He's as a like 20-something-year-old man is playing with a toy when he's sitting there while
That's
R2D2 is getting cleaned up, or R2D2 and C3PO are getting cleaned up.
Just sitting
so
there, like, play.
Yeah.
So that's going to come
he's
back
getting
around.
that somehow. Yeah, I thought that's how he got it. And that obviously Owen hands it back to him. He's like,
Oh, I love this,
get
man.
out of here.
Owen, anybody know this actor's name? He was in
Yeah, it's Joel Edgerton.
There you go.
way to go, Scotty. And they bring him back. This
Yeah.
is the guy from the prequels. Here
Yeah,
we go
They're
again.
doing it.
And he brings that plane, throws it at his feet, and he's like, "Don't you be leaving stuff for my kid. Don't even be around my kid." And he's like, Obi-Wan's like,
I've got to train him.
I've got to train. He's got to be trained when it's time. And he's like his dad.
Yeah.
Like you trained his dad. Like, oh, sick burn.
Now here's a big
like
thing.
actual burn.
Here's a big thing. I
got the high
I
ground.
forget that is a massive secret that no one knows. Anakin is Darth Vader.
Well,
But some people do.
That's going to be the question in this show because there's illusions by some of the Inquisitors that they kind of know.
Yes.
So
Talk to us about the Inquisitors. Who are these folks?
So they actually get introduced before Owen even throws a toy at him. So the Inquisitors were created for the Rebels series. And I think in that one there was 3 of them. You had the Grand High Inquisitor. You had, I don't remember if it's the third sister in that one. There's a female
I don't think
one.
it is.
I don't think it is either.
No.
With a helmet, and then the guy Inquisitor here. What's his
Fifth
name?
brother.
Yeah, the 5th brother. He's in that.
Fast
So-
and Furious.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I just
Han.
noticed.
Yeah.
And these characters, they are like the main villain now between episodes 3 and 4. So they're also in the Star Wars video game that came out. Was it The Last Jedi? Is that what's called?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. Sorry.
with the kid from Shameless.
Yeah, with Cal
Kestis.
Kestis. And that game has the second sister in it.
Okay.
Because I had to look this up because I'm like, wait a minute, who these characters
Great
have very
game.
it's a phenomenal game. Like if you like video games, you like Star Wars, that's outside of Knights of the Old Republic, which is the #1 game you should play.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably 2.
What about Pod Racers on 64?
Oh, another great game. That for sure is tons of fun.
And in this show, the Inquisitors are introduced as this group of Jedi hunters.
Yeah.
And it's the only background you get is that they obviously are have ties to the Force.
They're Force sensitive,
They're Force sensitive.
but they're not Sith.
But it seems like some of them are
So-
old captured
yes.
Jedi.
Some of them are turned Jedi or younglings that didn't get killed that have been recruited.
which our main antagonist.
The Grand Inquisitor, he's in Rebels, and there's some speculation if this is the same one, even though they look very similar, obviously because what happens a little bit later. But they are these Jedi hunters. Some of them, like the Grand Inquisitor, his story was that he was actually a Jedi Knight Temple Guardian, so he worked in the Jedi Temple in episodes 2 and 3. And then when it fell, they turned them to the dark side, or however you want to say it, to basically go and hunt the Jedi.
Jesus. It was a lot of
Yeah.
meetings, like what we saw with Palpatine and Anakin, were just happening
Yeah.
all over. A
Yeah.
lot of people kneeling and going okay, I'm in. I'm dark
Yeah.
now. I'm
So-
going to do this.
So when they land, I think they do a good job of setting the tone for them. And you have the other one we have here, the second sister. With any Star Wars thing, people take it very seriously, and I do too. But there's a line, and one thing that I did want to say on the podcast, and I'm sure none of your viewers are a part of this, but there's been a lot of controversy about Moses Ingram, who plays second sister, to the point that Ewan McGregor had to come out and be like, hey, just because you don't like the character doesn't mean you get to treat the human being terribly
Wasn't-
online.
Was this the racist
And
comment
this is-
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happened. It
happened-
happened with was it Marie Tran?
Yeah.
Who played Rose Tico,
Yeah.
and that's the side of fandom that I
It-
just always hate.
It happened with Finn in episode
Yep,
7
happened
too.
with Finn.
Because you can't have black
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Well,
And-
at least the beautiful thing about that is it shows that like fans are also just a big giant group of people.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
always gonna have the spectrum of all like good people that are just having fun, people that are having this middle ground. Then you're just gonna have this small group of racists.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess. Like,
That-
I didn't read much about it. Full disclosure.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, like I said, Ewan McGregor came out in support, and it's
Yeah, he did. He should put out a video or
yeah,
something.
he put out a video. But like, I have my qualms with that character, which we'll get to as we go through this.
Yeah.
But like, I think from a design standpoint, like it's a person in a suit, whereas the other ones are like clearly like done up. Vader, everybody else has like a cooler suit.
Yeah.
And I think the introduction of the Inquisitors when they come in though is great. I think it sets a tone. They walk in, they're talking about who a Jedi is and how easy it is to draw them out because they're do-gooders, and they're like, we're going to start doing bad stuff because the Jedi won't be able to resist.
Yep.
And sure enough,
It's
the
like it's how
guy's
you
sitting
meet
there.
him. He's sitting there in the bar,
Yeah.
and she decides right away, like, I'm done with the questions. Throws a knife at the guy's face to show that, like, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
Force stops it. Compassion will kill you. The Jedi will hunt themselves.
For sure.
Yep.
It's the old Roger Rabbit shaving a haircut. He can't resist
Yep.
finishing the song.
Yep.
They got to come out and save. They got to save people.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. And that's how you're going to meet these guys. And, I mean, this is happening. I feel like it's not long after we meet Uncle Owen, where, like, oh, that's right. The Jedi that they scare out of the hut finds Obi-Wan on his journey kind of, like, back to his cave and, like, leaving the town and approaches him and is like, hey.
It's like, I know who you are.
What's up, Obi-Wan? And he's like,
Yeah.
get out of here. But very quickly just says, like, hey, listen, just leave.
Yeah, I think this does a great job showing where Ewan McGregor is. He's like, I need to train Luke, but it's like at the same time, he's broken.
Yeah.
And
Oh, for
he's
sure.
like, well, I'm not a Jedi, but I need to train Luke because he, like, that was the mission he was given. But, he's a broken man. And what I'm hoping we see through the progression of this is like the rebuilding of him. Because the Obi-Wan that we meet in A New Hope is a very different Obi-Wan than what we have right now, which
Yeah.
is what has me most intrigued about this show right now.
Got to work toward this character.
Yeah, and I think Owen the actor that plays Owen does a great job of very much how the old Uncle Owen was. Like, nah,
For
you
sure,
you
yeah.
can go after the spaceships next year. You can join the rebellion next year. He's like, you're staying away from my son. He's like, we're farmers. We're simple people. We don't need any of your high galactic war stuff. We're just normal
We
people.
got our blue milk and our hydro farming, and
Yeah.
you just get out of
And
here.
last time you guys got to training, like, everything kind of went bad. So,
Right.
Yeah. And so we get all this great story on Tatooine about, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, where he's at. And then we cut to what I would call very much the prequel moment. And we're on a different planet, which is Alderaan.
Alderaan.
Or
Yeah.
Alderaan,
yeah.
sorry, which is going to get blown up in New Hope.
Yep.
And here is some child being dressed, which I was like, oh, we're going to do this, huh?
We're just getting right
doing this. 'Cause
into.
what we saw of Luke sitting on top of the roof, like pretending like he's like flying, driving a pod race or speed or whatever. That's all I need.
Yeah,
That's all
know,
I need.
but-
Like, I don't,
right.
but we're going to get a lot more.
Well, because you know what they do is, they go like, this is a story about two kids.
right.
But I hear you, like, to where, like, well, it wouldn't have to be, you could have like Obi-Wan season 2 or like, other shows that like would be like, Leia on Alderaan, but this is like the Tatooine show. But they decided very clearly this is going to be a story of two kids, the two Skywalker children, and we're going to be intertwining all these folks.
Yeah, I think like the Obi-Wan, whenever Obi-Wan's on screen, especially in this first episode, it's more somber. It's more like a broken character. It's dire. And then we flip over and it's like cheery. And the music does a good job of setting this like tonal difference, but it even looks like I'm watching episode 4 versus episode 3
Mhm.
with like the CGI and the way it's laid out. Like it's, all of a sudden the practical effects aren't there as much. I don't feel like, these people are walking around in these cities. This is clearly like a CGI city.
Yep.
So and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's Leia, it's her parents, it's like, oh, you're going to be a senator, just like we all know you will one bit today, but we'll lay it out for you. And she's like, just this kid does a good job, but like, you're getting you see Princess Leia throughout, I guess, 6 films,
Mm-hmm.
and like her, her character is this rebellious, smart mouth, doesn't fit in the senator look. She's more of like the girl from the city, or your next door neighbor that's just like doing her own thing, and this little girl's bringing that as like a 10-year-old version of this character. How do you think she's doing, Scotty?
I think she's doing great playing the character, for sure.
And Andy, this is at the top there,
Vivian Lyra Blair.
Yep,
so good she has 3 names,
and so good that she's at the top of the cast list on the Obi-Wan show on IMDb.
Well, she's in every episode.
She
is.
The actress does a great job. Her lines are a little cringe for me sometimes.
Oh, sure.
Because I just not believe, like, this is where, we were talking earlier in the episode, like Stranger Things does kid acting really well.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me a lot of episode 1.
And
like the lines and everything. It's like, it's hard for me to believe a child would, like a 10-year-old is going to say some of these things.
Sure.
She's smart though.
And she's also got Jedi blood in her.
Yeah, a lot of midichlorians.
Yeah. A lot of midichlorians.
One of my favorite parts. So they're on this planet. Yeah. They tell her, "Hey, we're gonna dress you up." Oh, psych! It's her like handmaiden that we're dressing up. She's out in the woods. Oh, it's fun. The music's good.
Very
it's
episode
cheery.
1.
Very episode 1, right? And then they come in like, "Hey, we're gonna go meet with her mom's sister and husband are coming into town. She's got to be the senator, right?" And so she comes in and they're at this like function. It almost looks like a political function or something, and they're having drinks and food and talking about politics. And then here's Leia talking with her cousin, which she says the word cousin like 30 times, like, "Hi cousin, hi,"
yes.
This cousin, that cousin. Like I have cousins, I don't constantly refer to them as cousin. It was just it's awkward.
Matters for something, or
it's just the writing that I go back to. Like, the kid can pull it off. Like, give her some good stuff to work with.
Yeah,
like she's got some. Yeah, quit making some of these like awkward dialogue choices. So then we kind of have these 2 stories, and you're like, okay, where are they going to go?
Well, she's going to go into the woods.
Oh yeah, so she's going to go into the woods.
She's going to be like, "Hey, listen, all right, Dad, thanks for the pep talk. I'm not going to apologize still. I'm going in the woods. I'm running." And this, I liked this part, man, because like for me, here we go. She hits a bad guy. We don't know who this bad guy is. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you're the fan in you that's been watching all these years is going, well, no one knows she's Princess Leia at all. So no one's taking her for like that reason.
Right.
Okay, this is going to be for something else. But I mean, she, despite having some good little slides on the dirt and some running around, she does get caught.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about this scene is if you go back and watch it, it's like watching, and I know Andy's a big fan, some really bad like wrestling fake outs.
Or like Three Stooges.
When they're
some Benny Hill or something.
Like they're like, because you like run up to the trees and they're like,
oh no,
they're
like running into the trees, like, oh, where did that come from? Like
she slid on dirt.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to parallel Star Wars and wrestling today, but I'm always here for it.
Yeah, your fandoms are colliding.
So I think it's a good story beat. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just the way it's laid out. There's some other action scenes later on that I feel the same way. But it's fun. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested. You're clearly going to bring these 2 characters together. So then, she gets captured. And
Dad's going to call Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, listen, man.
Who captures her? Does anybody know?
Okay, go ahead. I don't.
It's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Oh my, that's the guy?
Yeah.
How did this
slapping the bass?
I just can't help but be like, who was in the room somewhere when like, John Favreau was like, he's like, I'm a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, actually. Yeah. He's like, oh, really?
Can we get Anthony Kiedis? No? How about Flea? Oh, he's in?
Hey,
nice.
We can get Flea.
Not even the only celebrity cameo so far.
Who was
great
in the first episode?
Well, Zach Braff's in it.
Zach Braff. Yeah, he makes it.
And
3.
Yeah. 3, yes. I know. I had to look.
Pretty random.
I got to give a shout to some recap videos I used to help me today. TV Line, also Movie Freeze on YouTube. Super simple, like 3 to 4 minute videos. They did a great job. And that was part of their recap, was like, this is Zach Braff. And I was like, oh,
nice.
That's fantastic. Okay, so back to the story of part 1. Wrap this up. Is
she gets captured.
She gets captured, and Obi-Wan, he tells what's his name on
He tells
Alderaan?
Bail Organa.
Organa.
Yeah.
Organa, Senator Organa. He says, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
You're our only hope.
He's gonna do it.
And I was like, okay, so this will be part of the story of like while she like this was an old friend of theirs, you know, like because Princess Leia like knows Obi-Wan when she gives that message to R2.
It holds up canonically because she never speaks to Obi-Wan in A New Hope.
Right, never speaks to him.
Never speaks to him.
Just
he
the
dies.
video.
She sees him die, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you know, Senator
Bail Organa.
Organa, he shows up
Jimmy
Tatooine.
Smits.
Shows up in Tatooine in the cave, and this
It's
is
like, yeah,
like,
hey, I tracked you down.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard. You know, come on, man.
Well,
like yeah, like what are you doing?
Like, we really need your help.
And like, all right, I'll do it. So he
Yeah.
goes out to the middle of the desert.
Starts digging.
Digs it
What
up.
were you thinking?
I was like, oh, I know what he's digging for.
Yeah, I mean, me and Carrie are in bed watching, and I was like, oh, there's the lightsaber.
Yep. Both of them, his and Anakin's.
I mean, and he gets on
Yeah.
ship. He's gonna go get her.
Yep.
Part 2. He shows up to this city, this new place. It's a new planet. You've never been here.
Dio.
Yeah.
Daimo.
Dio.
Dayu. An outlaw town that's
It's like
Full
it's
of
Vegas.
scum and villainy.
I know, but
it's Planet Vegas.
I was like, but we were already on Tatooine, but I guess that's more of like the underbelly of the
Yeah.
galaxy.
It's the black market.
Right. And he's here to capture her. Help me with this episode.
Yeah, he's here to.
He's looking for Leia.
He's looking for
Leia.
Leia. He's on
gonna
the
save
hunt.
her. Which I thought
He
is
finds
cool.
her pretty quickly, I feel
Yeah,
like.
he
gets a
gets
tip.
there. He sees the washed up clone trooper, which was actually like a cool scene.
Yeah.
Because I think for
Tamara
a minute there, it's
Morrison.
like, yeah, he's like, is this guy gonna recognize me? Like,
Oh,
does
he knew who he
know?
was.
Oh,
for
he
sure.
knew.
And he gave him some money.
100% he knew who
Then,
he was.
like in any good big city, turns around and gets offered drugs by an actress who actually is his real life daughter.
Right.
Apparently. So
Yeah, want some spice?
yeah, she's like, you
Yeah.
want some drugs? He's like, no, I'm good. She's like, here, just take some drugs.
Yeah, free
Like,
drugs.
you know, like every
the
good
first
drug
one's
dealer.
free. Everybody gets one.
Thanks, real life daughter.
And then this other kid comes up and's like, hey, I heard you're looking for Jedi. Like, I know a guy.
Yes.
Now we get a great scene.
Talk to us about
We get a great scene.
Kumail Nanjiani,
So
right?
Yeah.
This is him, like being
yeah.
a Jedi, helping a family.
he's helping this family, walks in and he's like, oh, don't worry, I'm a Jedi. I'll protect you. And he like just force closes all the windows
We can
for
tell
no
your
reason.
kid is force sensitive.
Yeah.
We know where to send you.
Oh my God.
His best line is when he's on the intercom and he's talking with the person he's convincing. He goes, this is a Jedi mind trick. You will listen to me. And they're like,
Yeah, he's going like this.
He's going like this. He's like got his hand by his head.
He's
and-
like,
yeah, it's just like the Jedi have never said this is a Jedi mind trick to make this work. And Obi-Wan just in the corner like,
Yeah,
who
watching him
is
like,
this guy?
look at this joke.
he's like,
Yeah.
give me your he's like, okay, he did what I wanted. Give me your credits. And then Obi-Wan busts this guy. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fake ass Jedi.
Yeah, he's like,
just
magnets and switches,
It's-
man.
it's been-
Magnets and switches.
magnets and switches. It's been 10 years, and like this is a way to make some money.
But he
But-
says, you're a rat, and rats know the sewers best. And I need to find somebody in the sewers. And
Yes.
he's like, hey, remember those drugs you just got? Go to the drug house, and that's where you'll find Leia. So
And he goes there.
he goes to the drug house.
He busts in.
Yep.
And there's a trap.
Yeah.
The bad guys leave a robot there and with the a garm over or whatever, and he pulls it off, and then they get him. They've got him against the wall. Take his lightsaber. 3 guys kind of holding him. Not too much for Obi-Wan. Spice to the ground.
Yep.
Gets out. Finds Leia in another room, and has to convince her to go with him.
Yeah. What's cool here though is you see Obi-Wan fight, and while he can take these guys on, it's not
He's not
Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan who
No.
took on Anakin. So
Yeah.
you're like, this is
No.
a guy that if he fought Vader now, which we'll see,
Mm.
it's not going to go well because
Mhm.
he hasn't drawn his lightsaber. Gets Leia.
He's carrying that blaster. I guess it's
Oh, yeah.
what's he say?
Uncivilized.
Uncivilized weapon. But in this one, he's like, well, uncivilized times.
Yep. While this is going on, we keep cutting back to the Inquisitors. They're looking for him. They're trying to figure out third sister comes in again because we find out she hired these people to capture Leia.
Yes.
And
this
then-
is like now
She's
round
trying
2.
to flush him out.
Well, this
Yeah.
is now round 2, right? This episode 2. The first one they kind of tease this, right? Of like, what's your obsession with Obi-Wan? Why are you doing this? He's not the
Yeah.
main focus. And she's like, I'm tired of these little, these little fish. And episode 2 is like, I'm gonna take this to the next level. I've kidnapped Princess Leia,
Well, she
a senator's
knows
daughter.
what she says in it is that she knows that there's some sort of connection between Obi-Wan and Organa, that they were somehow allied or something. And she's like, I believe if I take this kid, like that, this is going to draw him out.
You think it's like this chick, this third sister, was like around,
that's the question. That's why, like, I'm reserving judgment on her. My
Yeah.
problem with her right now is she's just really angry, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
but wait till episode 5,
Right.
Right.
And that's what I'm hoping we find out, because she reminds me a lot of Kylo Ren with like this just unfiltered like anger that you don't know why it's
Yeah,
happening. Like,
like,
why is this
for
person
what
so,
reason?
Yeah, why are you angry?
Like, give me something.
Yes.
Like, I have no idea why you're raging so hard.
but it's something.
Right.
We
There's hope
there's
it's
something.
something.
I hope it's
I really
justifiable,
hope it's
though.
something.
Well,
That's the problem with Star Wars.
Well, and then, I guess, jumping around here, like here in this episode, big chase scene. Leia runs away from Obi-Wan. I don't trust you. Jumping through the ceilings. The Inquisitors are now after him as well. She's doing the third sister's force jumping from building to
Third
building.
sister looks like she is out of the Twilight movie jumping. At one point, she's like on all fours. I couldn't get that out of my mind when I saw it. I'm like, oh,
there was a
God.
jump that looked a little bit like the
Yeah.
first Blade movie, just kind of like,
Yes.
It just goes back to these like chase sequences. For some reason in this series, they're struggling a little bit with them, but each episode I think is getting better, and so they're chasing them, and it's also
he's
like
blasting, he's shooting, he's doing okay.
Everybody's missing,
Of course,
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
missing, and we finally get to. I mean, this is like
She
toward the
catches
end.
up.
She
Yeah.
catches up,
She catches up.
and they're in like a warehouse, and
We get Kumail.
Well,
Finally catches up to him.
before that though, Leia falls off, and Obi-Wan
Oh, yeah.
grabs her
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Force,
And it's almost
which
like-
is the first time you've seen him use the Force.
She's
And-
been
and he-
begging him
and he
Yeah.
barely
to make her float.
seemed like he could barely do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
It's a struggle.
Like, he has not been
Like he hasn't-
using this.
Well, he
Yeah.
hasn't been practicing this, but like he's definitely like whispering to to Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon,
Yeah.
Quite a
and
bit.
not getting any answers.
No answers.
He is so broken. He there's no communication
He's
there
just
whatsoever.
Yeah, he is broken.
He's
man.
not balanced.
So he saves her. You're a Jedi. Oh, we're still on the run. We're in this room. We're in like this warehouse. Third sister's there now. She's got a red.
Kumail shows up.
Kumail shows up.
Says, "Hey, I can help you.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
right? And you need to go.
You need to go jump on this thing
to get to this other
to
planet.
get to this other planet. It's a trade route. We'll get you out of here.
You're not alone.
I like credits, but I also do actually help people.
Yeah, and you have friends out here. You're not. Jedi
Right.
aren't alone.
You're not alone.
And gives him the pro tip, and then the second sister, doesn't she like find Kumail?
She finds him, and
sucks
he's
the
like,
truth.
"Oh, you finally found me.
yeah.
Yeah, it's me, Obi-Wan.
It's me."
Yeah, that's a new Star Wars power from the newer ones. The like, I can just determine the truth by that was a Kylo thing.
That was a Kylo thing where he
yeah.
just gets really close and he's like,
yeah.
Suck the truth out of your frontal lobe.
out of your face, and finds out where they are. And this is where we get the big reveal from third sister to Obi-Wan. I mean, I forget the exact word she says.
Anakin is still alive.
He's alive.
Yeah,
That's
I
what it
think
was,
she
right?
first says Vader is alive, and Obi-Wan knows who that is, but then she does actually say Anakin,
Yeah.
which
Like,
is like
it's-
she knows.
Yeah, she knows Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, which is not common knowledge to everyone.
So that's
yes, exactly.
She must be a Jedi of some sort.
It
you would
really
think.
makes me think she was in the Jedi Temple.
Yeah,
like
I think
some
so,
sort
too.
of youngling trainee.
Which would be interesting that she wants to kill Obi-Wan, considering Anakin walked in and slaughtered all the kids.
Slaughtered all
Well,
the
like,
children.
Guess she
I bet we'll get a flashback where
Yeah.
like Anakin found her and like talked to her,
Spared her life.
spared her, and like gave
turns her to the dark
turns her to
side.
the dark side, and then like now it's like this is her. It's like the anger is from like I'm committed to the cause, but I just don't know. I feel like they'll go a little more personal, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But this
So,
is
yeah.
essentially the end of the episode.
She
Well,
drops
you're
the
onto
truth
something there.
bomb,
drops a truth bomb,
and then the
High
Grand
Inquis-
Inquisitor
yeah,
shows
Grand
up.
Inquisitor shows up.
And he's like, you need to stop what you're doing.
Not only
Like,
that,
she's like,
I'm
going to
take him in.
Yeah. She's like, we found him. And he's like, it doesn't matter.
Classic boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, what? I did it.
And then we get this thing that there's been a lot of controversy about.
Yeah.
She kills the Grand Inquisitor.
Now listen,
Well,
you said it's the same character from like,
maybe,
but maybe not.
We don't
nobody knows.
This
We
could
don't
be
know.
so. This is like for fans that like me that don't know this. Like this is potentially another character like from
Well,
the Rebels or
it
Clone
This
Wars,
is something that would take place before
Yeah,
something that's already taken
to
place.
where it's like he couldn't be dead yet. Essentially,
Yeah, Rebels starts, I believe, at the beginning of A New Hope.
maybe he's not dead.
Like right around the beginning of The New Hope. Well, he like the character looks exactly the same. It's like the same type of like alien with that makeup and everything.
Yeah, with the
so
sides
it's
on.
so it's highly likely he's not dead. It would
Yeah.
be weird if they're like, oh, and then the next one is the same
right.
looking alien.
And he's like, I'm here to
Yeah.
avenge my
We're-
twin
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
We've used the cloning technology,
Yeah.
and we just
Who
clone
knows?
Inquisitors.
Didn't you hear about the Clone Wars? And everybody's
Yeah,
like, this
I mean,
isn't that.
that is not gonna like with Dave Filoni on here. Like he oversees all this. Like
Yeah.
there's gonna be an answer. You just got to be patient.
Mhm.
There's gonna be an answer on that, I'm sure. And that takes us right into the last episode.
Part 3. Here we go. Let's just go into it. New planet. I don't remember where exactly.
They jump on the thing to a mining planet of some sort.
And
I had it written in my notes. If
and-
you guys only knew.
yeah, right. Yeah, your
Well,
your notebook that's at home.
We open this episode though with Vader being put back together.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Oh,
we
we didn't
see
even
the-
say it.
yeah.
We see him in the
Episode
back
2,
to tank.
in the back to tank
Yeah,
in
and
episode
this-
2.
Yep.
And then 3, we see him.
We see
They're
him,
putting
the
his
tubes are
you
coming
realize like
off.
how cut up he was. They're putting
Yeah.
his arms back on, all the tubes out of his back. They're piecing him together. They put all the plates on the front of him. It
They-
flips on. You
they
hear
did a
that
good
breathing.
job for
Yep.
giving function to that suit. Because they kind of like show you like this thing on his chest is kind of actually like this layer thing inside of the suit. And I'm like, okay, that's better than just like a button.
Right.
Yeah. You know? And the voice I feel like they
James
kind
Earl
of
Jones.
they kind of show James
Yeah.
Earl Jones back again.
Back. He's like 91.
Jeez.
with Hayden in the suit. I love it.
Yeah.
And we get some like Vader time, right? Like this is like Vader ruling.
Vader
Yeah.
time.
He
Talking to
he's-
Reva.
Yep, he's talking with Reva, basically being like, if you bring in Obi-Wan Kenobi, like you'll get what you want, which is
Yeah.
to be High Inquisitor.
Right.
Which again, I'm like, not enough motivation for this much anger.
Right.
There's got to be something else. Like I do want to know what that is. Like that they're doing a good job with.
It's like she.
Yeah.
You really feel like Obi-Wan has wronged her in some way.
yeah, there's got to be something that she
And
wants
even
him
if-
specifically.
Even if it's that she knows that Obi-Wan trained Anakin and failed, and he killed all of her friends and family or something.
Yeah.
You know, like who knows?
So they're like, we're gonna go find Obi-Wan. Then we cut back to that planet, and Leia and Obi-Wan are kind of bickering.
Yeah, they're bickering. He's irritable. She's asking a lot of questions. And then they basically like give up, right away. It was where it's like, I knew it. There was no help here.
Yeah,
Until this bus pulls up with Zach Braff.
Well, and I thought it was funny when the
Frack.
bus pulls up and he's like, okay, we're farmers, like, and don't talk much. And she's like, well, do I not talk much, or you just don't want me to talk much? She's like trying to like get into character. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that was kind of
That
clever.
was pretty funny. And she kind of jumps in with
She
her
just
story.
takes the lead.
And she's like, can I not talk?
And,
Like,
she,
am I
and, she,
mute?
and she just runs. She's like,
Yeah.
we're just here.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Luma.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you want to give us a ride? No. We don't need a ride.
That's
just point us in the direction. No, just get in. All right.
Yeah.
At that point, Dan was like, dang, should have killed her off then. Can't trust these kids.
You get some good dialogue on the little bus too. Like there's a lot of dialogue between Obi-Wan and Leia that like, we haven't got into all of it, but like I think the big thing here for episode 3 is like some of that Jedi lifestyle of like this guy, when you become a Jedi, it's like no more sex, you're not dating, you're
Taken from your family at a very young age.
Very young.
Because remember when Anakin was taken, he was too old.
Yeah, he was too old.
And he was like 10.
Yeah.
Yep. And
So-
because like they like remember their parents and all that.
I
And he's like,
remember my parents a little bit, and I think I might have had a brother.
I-
I remember a baby of some sort.
Obi
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So that was
Obi-Do.
Oh my God.
Owen.
yes.
Owen was canonically Obi-Wan's brother in the novelization of A New Hope.
Okay.
And then they retconned that because it was never in the movie. George Lucas cut it. Originally, that was going to be Obi-Wan's brother.
Yeah.
but then they retconned it in Attack of the Clones when they made him Anakin's stepbrother.
Mm.
And now that's the canonical version of who
and
Owen
so
is
now
to
there's
him.
just
so
like
now
this
there's another guy.
Now there's a mystery,
but that's a
brother
throwback. Like that's how some of these Star Wars people that are actually overseeing this, like kudos to them. They know all these little nuances.
Yeah.
Like I had to look that up.
You have to, like, with all the different threads that you can be pulling on, there could be mistakes that are made. You never know. Okay, so on the bus, I mean, this is scary shit here. All right, someone tell me about this gear symbol. What is that gear symbol on the back of the thing? That they pause on it like so hard, and it's a flag on the back of that thing with a gear, and it's like they held it. They held the camera on it. I mean,
so like that was the Republic thing, wasn't it? The symbol of the Republic.
It has to be, right. Like
Yeah,
that's
what
what
I
it
thought
is,
too,
and it's
yeah.
like it's a Republic, and he knows
Yeah,
it.
and it's like
Because
the Republic, we
Republic,
might be screwed here.
because the Republic's everywhere now.
They're walking around in the in the fields, and they see off in the distance the stormtroopers.
Yes.
And, they're trucking along the little thing, and he's like, I see some stormtroopers. Let's pick them up.
Hop on, guys. And you get the nice little, hiding here in plain sight kind of thing.
You haven't seen any Jedi, have you?
Obi-Wan
He's
has the slip where he says Leia instead of Luna.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
right.
if I put my hood on, I won't look like a Jedi.
Oh yeah, not if I go like
I was
this.
like, dude,
Yeah, and he's like
come
walking
on.
around. His
Totally Thor.
his lightsaber's just kind of like,
Yeah.
just like flipping around.
Yeah, I remember he was on the planet and he was just taking his jacket off and it's just flapping around.
Yeah, it's like he got those lightsabers
Like, I
out
thought
of
we were undercover here, bro.
He got those lightsabers out of the ground, and he's like, do.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. But they get out of it until they get to like the base or whatever.
Like, it's like a checkpoint.
It's a
Yeah,
check stop.
like a laser fence.
Yeah, laser fence checkpoint.
And the
Yeah.
bus driver, he's not good.
He's like, hey, picked up some stragglers.
Pretty sure
if
it's
you
a
wanna-
Jedi.
If you want to check them out,
Yeah.
maybe run a background check or something. We get the what was it? The probe droid.
Probe droid shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, and they
I'll
cut
just
back
scan
like
his face.
we sent out some probe droids to all these mining colonies, and apparently here's the one probe droid they sent to this planet.
Here it is.
Whole
Shows up.
planet, guys, like 3 blocks away. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll be there in a minute.
And Obi-Wan decides like, this is it. I'm gonna throw down.
Oh yeah,
Well, he
quick
knows
draw
it.
McGraw.
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to be discovered. Pulls out that blaster, starts shooting some people.
Right in the probe droid eye.
Shoots a stormtrooper off a tower, falls on the fence, and gets cut in
Oh my
half.
god,
was
yes,
great.
that
Like
was
the-
awesome. I
Yeah.
remember watching that, and I was like, man, that was awesome.
Well, I'm like, wait a minute, we got like a 10-year-old girl here, and now we're cutting stormtroopers in half. Like,
Yes.
wow, we're progressing quickly.
In the
She's seen a lot in, her
Yeah.
life, in her young life.
very quickly. And in the recap from I think it was TV Line, I have the link to that in the description today. I feel like they said that this was like when you finally got like one of the classic stormtrooper yells as they fell from the
Oh,
yeah. And this is where the help finally arrives from
Yep.
Kumail.
No, Tila,
Yeah.
Well, what's her
Oh,
name,
I got
right?
her name.
Well, yeah, but I
yeah.
assume this is the help.
Tara.
Yeah. So
Right? Or is
Game
it-
of Thrones alum.
Oh.
Yeah, she
Yes.
was from
Illyria Sand.
Indira
Yes.
Varma as Tala.
Tala,
yeah.
and she's the
Dressed as a
Imperial.
Imperial officer.
Yep.
Comes and you're like,
Sm-
uh-oh.
Yeah, like
And
we're
then
we're
pop,
done.
pop.
Yeah,
Kill,
smokes
right in the
them.
back, takes out both stormtroopers, and she's like, I'm here to help.
And this is like apparently like his guy, the friend. That
Yeah.
This is the connection. She's
They're
like,
like,
sorry,
oh.
I was late. I
Yeah.
got there and you were gone.
And so she takes them. Okay, you guys are with me now. Here's a little bunker where I hide people out, including there's like a rebel symbol in there that I think Third Sister sees. There's a character that
There's-
Obi-Wan
so
calls
Quin-
out as a Jedi.
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. Yeah,
He's
For fans like
from-
me that don't
Yep.
know.
So he's from Clone Wars. He was also I think he has a canonical book written about him now.
for sure.
He's kind of
Some
like
some
a more
comics.
like he's like a more like what do I want to call him? Like a
He's
not-
an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero. He hangs around with Ventress, who's also from like Clone Wars. She's a big villain. She wields 2 red lightsabers. She's one of Ahsoka's like main
Yeah,
anti
we'll
like
see her.
main villains. Yeah, she's definitely going to be in Ahsoka.
for sure.
And she first debuted in the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series on Cartoon Network before Episode 2
Yeah.
by the same creator of Samurai Jack.
Oh man, what a show!
Those were the ones that were like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're like 5 minutes. They did a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You can watch
Yeah.
it. It's all on Disney.
There's like an
Plus
hour
now.
and a half
Yeah.
of them.
I think I was
Yeah.
watching like
Yeah.
live at the time.
And
you know?
they're
for
really
sure.
good.
Yeah, they're super good.
But that's where she debuted, and then they brought her into Clone Wars. So Quinlan Vos like hangs out with her for a while, but he's like a fan favorite kind of.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's like when I say fan, I mean like the fans that read all the other stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Obviously,
To
'cause I'm not
where-
remembering this
yeah.
character specifically from the movies. I think this character was maybe
They-
shown one time in episode 2.
They showed him
Yeah.
in episode 1 as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's in one for like a minute.
But this is we've stumbled upon the Jedi Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Which
is
I mean,
basically what it is.
Again, like going back to episode 1, like, oh my god, what do I love about this show? Finally, Jedi.
Yeah.
Like
Sith,
we're getting
Force.
some, yes, we're getting
all the things you
somewhere.
probably love about the Clone Wars is like now like take hopefully all the best stuff Jedi wise and like put it in this show. Hopefully,
Yeah, like before we just saw this one, schmo Jedi
Right. yeah.
who we didn't know who he was,
But,
but
I don't
he's
want
dead.
to. But I want to go to college.
Right. And now we're getting some threads. We're getting some
Okay.
strings here.
Okay. So they're laying low. She's got him there, and then the plan is,
She's like, I'm gonna get you out of here.
yep,
Yeah, to some other planet.
yep, I'm gonna get you guys gone. I guess maybe back to Alderaan. That's it.
Well,
right?
yeah, that's where
it's-
they're trying to
yeah.
get her.
It's
yeah.
time to get her home, trying to get her back home.
Yep. And
We'll have you
then-
there by nightfall, which it already kind of looked like it was
yeah,
nightfall.
already was.
Like nightfall where? There's a lot of planets out here.
And while they're waiting,
Oh, he gets like some huge like force
like
headache,
like just like
crippling. Like what is happening?
he looked like he looked in episode 4 when Alderaan blew up.
Yeah.
But like that level of just like someone's here.
Yeah, something is happening. Huge disturbance in the force.
Darth Vader.
We get did they play the Imperial March?
Oh, they
No,
did, right?
no.
Little pieces here and there. I feel like they just mixed in different like parts of it. They wove it.
Yeah, the music like sounded similar to a lot of the prior Star Wars stuff, but it wasn't the same.
I
which
think
like-
this is
I
a
like that.
transition they're
I
gonna
like that.
make.
It's kind of it reminded me of like the Batman movie where
It's
it was like
that, but not
kind of
quite.
a callback to the prior
Yeah.
movies,
Not
but
just the straight up
its
dun,
own-
dun 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 dun. Like,
Yeah.
if we do that, then
It's
it's
a
the old
similar
movie.
beat.
Yeah.
And he's there with the stormtroopers, and they just let him do his thing. Like he just
Oh,
walks
yeah.
through. He's force dragging people through the
Drug
street.
the lady out of the window.
He's snapping
and the guy
necks.
comes out to
Yeah.
try and help her. He snaps the neck.
This is the most violent, like, hour or whatever, probably even 30 minutes of Star Wars ever, with a clone trooper getting cut in half. Like, that doesn't really, like, you know how many clone troopers and stuff get taken out with lightsabers in the prequels? It just, like,
They just fall
they
over.
just fall over.
You're like,
Yeah.
They're not actually cutting limbs off very often, except Jango Fett getting beheaded by Mace
Yeah.
Windu. But other than that,
Yeah, this is this is Lil Annie.
yeah, the neck snap.
This is flashback to the end of Rogue One,
Right.
when Vader was going full Vader.
Full Vader.
And you're like, yes. Like, this
Yeah.
is terrible, and I love it.
Yes.
So
And playing the same games, I'll just kill until you come out. And I mean, Obi-Wan just kind of running around trying
yeah,
to just
Obi-Wan's
evade.
like, you guys get out of here.
Yeah.
He's here for me.
I'll
Go-
distract him.
Go down the longest tunnel ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you guys get out of here. I'll lead him out. And I mean, this is the rematch.
whatever you do, don't turn around.
Yeah, is that what he said?
Something like that.
Yeah.
something
Don't
like that.
come back.
And of
Don't
course-
come back.
Of course, she
Yeah.
did not listen.
She couldn't help it. She's like, I'm gonna help this guy. I like this guy. I mean, what'd you think of this rematch? I mean, what we get? All right, we get a few things before we get any lightsaber battle. You get Vader lighting the sand on fire and like pulling, a little bit of back and forth, maybe like against each other, but like,
Yeah,
pushing him
Yeah,
away.
there was a couple of
Just a couple.
encounters,
Just a
like
couple.
stick and move, basically.
Stick and move, run away,
and he's gonna run away.
He's walking around so casually. He's
Oh, yeah,
fighting
this
with
is
one hand.
It reminds
totally
me,
like Jason Voorhees.
right. That's what I was gonna say. It reminded
Friday
me
the
of a horror
13th.
movie. Like the difference in like power between these two
Yeah.
is exactly like a horror movie.
You can, and this is where the rust is really starting to show on
Real-
Obi-Wan.
real
Yeah.
bad. You're putting him against the top now,
Yeah.
and he's not even trying. But like, he's just frail. He's falling down. He can't even hold his lightsaber up.
Yeah.
Then we get a little on the nose,
Let's hear
and
it.
we light the sand on fire.
Light the sand
and
on
then
fire.
we drag Obi-Wan through the fire, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, one, like Obi-Wan doesn't have like burn marks in A New Hope, so like we can't.
Yeah,
There won't be
Like,
that.
you know, you just know because it's a prequel thing, like some of what's going to happen here. And I thought that, like, I would have rather them fought more with the lightsabers and Vader just clearly like been outmatching him to be like, in these 10 years, like I've gotten stronger and you have faded away.
Or he captures him, and then it's like 5 years later, and he's had him like captive the whole time. You know,
but the pulling him through the fire, he's like, oh, I was in the fire and you didn't save me, so now I'm gonna put you in the fire. It just felt a little,
who's got
it was
the
a
high
little
ground
too much.
now?
And and he was like, and Obi-Wan's like,
Didn't
what
work
have you
for me.
become? And he's like, what you made me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, but just twisted. You know, you can't really argue with the psychoticness of this guy, because like, I mean, he was, you know, I love Padme, and like I hope she doesn't die in this pregnancy, and then like in 5 minutes was like, I'm gonna chop off kids' heads.
Yeah.
Literally. Star Wars.
The younglings.
The younglings. Like Star Wars. Everybody's like, oh, Jar Jar Binks. I'm like, what about murdering children?
Right.
Because that you got that too.
Oh, you didn't like this slap happy character?
Here
How
you
about
go.
we kill some kids?
Here, the kids are dead. You
Yeah.
happy? All right. Rematch ends with
Tala pops up, because
saves his ass.
Vader says, pick him up, like bring him with us. Tala pops up, shoots him. And I'm trying to remember, something happens where they can't.
He drags him out.
The fire.
The fire like reignites.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
reignites.
It gets like too big where like everybody's
And
like, I
he's
can't
like,
see
oh.
over there.
Vader's like, I'm not going in there.
He's like, I don't like fire. I got a bad
Flashback.
history.
He's like, if I get burned again, there's nothing left.
He's like, I mean, we could walk around. Like, it's really not like that big.
Yeah,
but,
you can
it's
well,
like, we'll
wasn't
just
he
let
in
her
the fire?
take him.
Like you could. I thought I was like, okay, he's fireproof.
He was
Was
just
he
on the
in it?
out. He's on the
Okay.
outskirts.
Okay,
You know, and he might have been like forced keeping the fire down.
Who knows?
I don't know how the
But-
force works.
Yeah.
My metachlorian count's pretty low.
Yeah, that's why we need a Qui-Gon show.
Sperm count's really high though.
That's why we need Liam Neeson to come back for a Qui-Gon show. Yeah, you're right.
I
It's
hope.
like, Annie, your Qui-Gon, your midichlorians are off the charts, but your sperm count's very low. All right, and then, of course, Leia.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Running by herself to find the pilot to get her out of there. Are you the pilot?
Pilot's dead.
Not
Man, I thought,
exactly.
did anybody else think Pilot was going to be somebody
Yeah, I did.
for a hot sec? And then it was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
oh, no,
for
And
Pilot.
I was like, oh, I was way off.
Who did you think it was?
I'm Han
I
Solo's
was-
dad.
I was literally in the process of thinking who it could be, and then it hit me when I heard the voice, and I was like, oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Reva.
he
Damn
could have
you.
been. It could have been Han Solo, right?
No.
No, it couldn't have been because he would have
No.
been like a young kid.
Oh,
He would have
please-
been 10 as well.
Please
Yes.
don't. Please don't.
I'm Don Solo.
I don't.
Han Solo's dad.
Don Solo.
I made the Kessel Run in 15 parsecs.
Yeah, I've heard it put by other people that Star Wars sometimes suffers from what they call small galaxy syndrome, where it's
Yeah.
like there's massive galaxy, all these people, all these things going on, but we're always like bumping into the same like 20 something
Same
people.
characters.
Yeah.
Or characters who know the
Yes.
characters in some sort
Or they're
of
like,
way.
we're back on
So,
Tatooine. I'm like, guys, we can't keep going back
Like,
to Tatooine.
there are so many planets. Stay off
Yes.
Tatooine.
And Tatooine is like, they sell Tatooine, and the first one is like, in episode 1, you know, it's like, it's the outskirt, one little, you know, I'm like, why are we always here then?
Yeah. Why are we always in Mos Eisley?
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's that's what was so great about The Mandalorian was, especially season 1. It was like, I don't know anything about any of these characters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
fun.
I don't know what's going to
Fresh.
happen to them. It was great. Like,
Yeah.
they need more of that. Like, I don't mind some of these like in between stories, but like, I love the like just new original thoughts in the same universe.
Yep.
Like, and like, I didn't even need the Mandalorian and Boba Fett to like come together. In all honesty,
I know.
but
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't need Bo-Katan.
I didn't need it. Yeah,
I didn't need Ahsoka. It was
Yeah.
all awesome
It's
and
cool.
welcome,
yeah,
but it's not something I needed with this character.
yeah.
Which is crazy, like, as you're watching, like, you know, Luke Skywalker and Grogu and Ahsoka on the screen, and you're like, I don't need this. Like, that's when you know that the formula had been, like, force-fed a little bit, you know? And there is a little bit of that happening in this show, you know, again, like you said, Dan, with these kids. Like, I just want Obi-Wan, like,
Well, it's
navigating
how
Tatooine, you know? Like,
I just think I would have loved to see an Obi-Wan story that honestly didn't have anything to do with Vader or Luke and Leia. Like, I was okay, Luke's
yeah,
there,
Vader, Luke,
Luke's
Leia.
there,
Yeah.
but it's like, once again, here we are, these exact same like 3 people,
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about how he used to hang out with like Leia. And Leia like never brings us up. Oh, hey, remember that guy that got murdered?
Not ever.
He saved me when I was like a kid, you know, let alone the fact that like later he's like, hey, like you're my sister.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, oh yeah, that old guy you were hanging around with, like he like saved my life one time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know,
they're going to try to explain that away.
I'm sure.
Oh, I was with him the
she
day.
got bumped on the head, and now
well,
she's got
they'll
amnesia.
CGI Carrie Fisher back into the next episode or something, and she'll be
Yeah.
like, it'll be like right after, you know, they're at the Ewok village celebrating Return of the Jedi, and she'll be like, oh, hey, remember that Obi-Wan guy? I forgot to tell you.
Right.
She's
Hey,
on her,
are you seeing that Force Ghost over there? That's
She's-
Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
she's on her deathbed. She's like, wait a minute.
I kept meaning to tell you. I wrote a note and everything.
All right, 3
So.
down. Anything else there? Part 3?
That's how it ends.
I mean, we're going to see Leia and third sister interactions here, and then Obi-Wan's going to have to save her.
Tomorrow.
And that's tomorrow for us.
We're going to see
already happening for you if it came
Yeah.
out.
It's going to be interesting with those two characters. You have a very angry person and a very like witty, sarcastic child.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
So
Love
It's
it.
going to be a fun interaction for
I'm
sure.
excited. Like I said, it's fun. It's not always what I want, but I'm happy I'm getting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. I will consume whatever you give me with a smile on my
Yeah.
face.
Well, and I mean, they that is true, but I mean, I like talking about how we feel about it for real. Giggler, how these first 3 go for you? What do you expect? What are you expecting to see in the next 3 out of Obi-Wan? Are we going to see?
man.
Are we going to see a Star Wars rematch? Or I'm sorry, a Darth Vader rematch?
I'm loving like just bridging this gap, like Scott said earlier. I think we're in for a treat for these next 3. Like I think that we might see maybe one be like a little bit slow, but I think besides that, it's going to be just balls to the wall lightsaber fights, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, like repeatedly, and I'm fine with that because that's exactly what I want. I don't need to see Princess Leia like story anymore. Just give me all these two like going head to toe. Give me Obi-Wan like finding his stride, coming back and
Getting his groove
turning
back.
into the guy that he was that we saw in A New Hope.
Yeah, it's like a badass that could still throw the saber around.
I mean,
at that point,
it's
though,
what's going to happen.
they were
because we
both-
know
he's,
it
yeah,
happens.
he's going to fight Reva. He's going to fight Vader again.
And yeah, I
And
want to see
who knows who else we'll see.
what's the deal with Reva. You're right. I agree with what you said earlier, Logan. Like there was something more there that they're gonna.
There's an unseen motivation.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm pumped.
Let's go to Scotty Scoop. Gonna leave our super fan here probably for last. Scotty, what else are you expecting to see here? First 3 are obviously feeling okay for you. I think we've kind of covered some areas where we're hitting and missing, but talk to us.
I think it's all uphill from here. Like,
Yeah.
This is the meat of the show. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are halfway through already.
I love it. I love breaking it up in chunks.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows where this is going to go? What we're going to get? I'm really hoping to see 1 or 2 characters, show up that we know for sure.
I love it. I'll just get out of the way. I really want to see Qui-Gon Jinn. And
we're going to get
yeah,
it for
you're
sure.
getting that.
It's going to be episode 6.
I feel like they wouldn't be doing the whisper teases if not.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be a teaser for something else, or maybe like just bring him in. The way they're pulling shit nowadays with all this stuff, I could see them like just bringing back him and Yoda and you got you got to force C-3PO or something. I don't know.
Well,
Force Ghost
C-3PO
Party?
was in
And the
episode
new
1.
Oh yeah, and 6
And R2D2
and in 7, 8, 9. So
Yeah.
like they're very much around.
Yeah.
You're totally right. All right, Dan P, lay it on us. How'd 1 through 3 go? What do you expect for 4 through 6?
Yeah, 1 through 3 are good. I expressed some of my concerns with them, things I don't like. Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan is just awesome. Like he loves the character. You can tell he is having fun being there. He's enjoying doing this, and he does a phenomenal job. I think there's great people around him. I think they've put an interesting story together. Just like I talked about earlier with some of like the prequels and even the newer stuff, like they always have the right pieces. They don't always put it together in the way that I would have liked. But I want to know how this ends. And I'm excited to see, this might be the last time we get Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Because I don't know what else you'd tell, really.
Right.
So
like this is the only thing.
I just want to see him do justice by him. And I hope that this ends in a way much like Rogue One did, where you feel like you understand where he's at in A New Hope based on what happens in this series.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Is what you're looking for. That's satisfying.
Closure.
And we understand this to be a limited series that is only going to be 1 season. Do you think that's true?
I think so. Ewan McGregor's a pretty big actor. I think this story, like, honestly, if you did multiple seasons, I feel like it would kind of be a bit too much.
You think you get this character again in any movies?
No.
And
I don't think so.
any predictions for characters that super fans could look to maybe seeing in 4, 5, and 6? Here for I'm sorry, for these parts. That's why they call them parts and not episodes.
Well,
because they're like, you're not going to call these episodes. These are parts.
I could see
Darth Maul.
I could see.
Give me it. It's not happening, but give me it.
I could see possibly Cal Kestra showing up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of the ones I'm hoping for.
Darth Maul's dead.
No.
Darth Maul is not dead.
Yeah, Darth Maul's not dead.
Oh, because he in the Clone Wars they
Clone Wars. He was in Solo.
So what'd they do? He found his legs at the bottom.
God, we don't have enough time. Witchcraft.
Give me a
machine spider legs.
Spider legs.
Right.
And
Okay.
He's got the regular
robot
legs. Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me that.
And he's got a brother. So
Darth Paul.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? You think we're gonna make it pop up? You mentioned a few there.
Yeah, like I said, Cal Kestra. Maybe Quinlan Voss. Maybe we get a live action version of him.
Why mention him?
Yeah.
If you're not going to pull that thread.
You watch other shows, Scotty?
Yeah, I've seen Rebels and Clone Wars.
You read anything? You read anything?
I've read some of the older stuff, the comic book stuff that would be like post everything.
Man, that's another thing too, is the timing. Like I watch this show and I'm like, okay, 10 years after episode 3. So not like
it's
Mandalorian, which is 5 years after the fall of the Empire. I'm like, no, totally different.
Yeah,
you're not different.
Episodes. Yeah, we're on the opposite side of a trilogy.
I mean, I don't know why they would put him in there, but Thrawn could be in there, or even Tarkin. I don't know why, but I mean, they already got a CG Tarkin from Rogue One they could pull out of the Disney vault, I'm sure. But
this is this time frame. Any chance we see Yoda? Force Yoda, maybe a Force Yoda.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's still alive.
I know, but I mean like from afar.
Oh, like a projection.
Like a
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. We talked about the first 3. Dan, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the spot. Would you come back and join us for the last 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. How'd we do? Do you think we did it justice for these first half?
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. I think it's good.
Perfect. We talked about how we felt. We'll rate it when we come back and finish it off. Let's hear about how some people online felt about this. Some folks from Twitter told you guys we'd be shouting you out. Hope you're excited. IO Psychology seemed fun, but Star Wars continuity doesn't make much sense and hasn't really since the prequels. Dan, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we could be friends.
It's tough.
It is.
At Wade Kelly, the first episode was slightly more pleasurable than getting teeth pulled. So much in the setup. Too much.
See, Logan, I feel better now. Like your audience is clearly going to appreciate some of my takes here.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You gotta bring the spectrum in. W Crayhair 14. The show is okay and looking forward to continue watching, but I can't get over how bad the woods chase scene is. That is some home movie
He must have
quality
made that
stuff.
comment
Agreed.
before episode 2, where Leia was running away in the streets.
He's like, once you got her on the rooftops.
Yeah.
Who else we got? We got some more here. Oh, yeah. Raven of Many Hats on Twitter says it's yet another outing of Disney parading a rushed, milquetoast, middling piece of Star Wars property that out there with flashy visuals that disguise the mediocre and uninspired production. I wish it was better, but this is late stage Hollywood. Everything is cheap.
Man.
And then here we go. I had to end this on a positive note. I mean, I don't care what you say. I'm going to share the stuff in the show, so we're reading it for you fans. At _infinity_bros_. Excellent. It's so great to see Ewan McGregor return to one of the most iconic Star Wars roles ever. Can't wait for the rest of the show.
Look, I'll give your audience my hack for Star Wars these days. Assuming you're of age, have a couple of cocktails or beers or whatever you like beforehand, and you'll just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Don't I know we just overanalyzed it, but
but
you just got to sit back and try and take it for what it is, because this is what you're getting.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're watching a Star Wars TV show called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why
Would
are you
rather
mad?
not have this?
You don't want it? Cancel Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like, That's how you got to tell 'em.
choose to not consume this content.
But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Sure.
And they'll definitely give it to you on internet, too. And, hey, I even encouraged it. I said, I'll read them out loud on a microphone. Some fun facts from IMDb. There was a couple here that I want to make sure we covered. Okay, we already covered this. Set approximately 10 years after Star Wars Episode 3. I love that. This was actually originally meant to be the first Star Wars spinoff film to be Jedi-centric outside of the Skywalker saga, but the planned anthology film was reportedly shelved following the box office disappointment of Solo.
Yeah, the real story there is Last Jedi screwed Solo.
Okay.
Oh,
because,
100%.
Because the fans were so upset with Last Jedi, and then they kicked Solo out like 2 or 3 months later, and it just didn't do well because everybody was still bitter about, like, The Last Jedi breaks Star Wars continuity more than any other movie.
Yeah. That really killed it. I enjoy all those movies, but they did a bad job not letting one person handle those 3 movies.
Yeah, they needed to make the decision in the beginning if it was going to be a trilogy or if they were just going to keep telling stories.
Yeah.
And they needed to be clear about what that was going to be.
Yeah, those
with
3.
fans and internally, I think. But Solo is still my favorite new one. So.
This was my favorite fun fact from the list. In 2020, Ewan McGregor said that he would like the series to be called Hello There.
Hello There.
And obviously they...
General Kenobi.
Obviously they said that's a bad idea.
You see that bottom one on there?
Tell me, read it.
Instagram post by actor Ray Park has led some to believe that Darth Maul will appear in the series. I believe that's the actor that played him.
There you go. Oh, and I just shared one more thing I was going to share. You know, we didn't really talk about like the viewership. So, you know, with streaming, it gets kind of tough in terms of like how many people watch this. All right, so one metric we have, comicbook.com tells us Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi breaks Disney Plus viewership record. And I thought, that's cool. And then I thought, well, what's that mean? Because that's only Disney Plus. And then the Direct comes in and says, all right, if Disney is counting both of the debut episodes, then this statistic is far less impressive than it may first appear, because they're really only comparing it to the other Disney Plus originals that have premiered with more than one installment on the same day. That'd be WandaVision with 103 minutes and Hawkeye with 102. So I forget how long these episodes are.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, the thing about WandaVision is, one, it premiered during COVID, so what was everybody else going to do? But then you had the hurdle of, like, Disney Plus had just started, so probably not as many subscribers yet.
And then you have Hawkeye, the best Marvel Disney Plus show.
I've heard it claimed.
Right, there you go. In terms of what people are saying online, Rotten Tomatoes is hovering around 87%. That was a few days ago. 7.9 on IMDb. I haven't checked it since the last episode dropped. But hey, man, 1 through 3, Obi-Wan Kenobi, real round table here with the fellas. You can count on us to be back to talk about 4 through 6. Sounds like we can maybe sucker Dan P into coming back and joining us again. Dan, you did a great job on Star Wars. We were super lucky to have your expertise on the show today. Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here.
All right, let's talk about what's coming up. Well, Scotty, you said you liked them packed. You said you liked them long. We got another one here. Lots of Nerd Fest. Lots of talking. Lots of good thoughts. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Always. I love the long episodes.
Well, looking at the coming up on the list, and even if it's not on there, what's on your horizon coming up that we can probably plan to feature on the show? You know, if one of us is looking forward to it, you can look forward to it being featured. You know, we got Lightyear coming up. We got Stranger Things Season 4 happening right now. Miss Marvel drops like what? Friday. So again, by the time this comes out, you're going to have another Marvel show on the docket to watch.
They moved them to Friday releases for Marvel now?
Because it was the same day as Obi-Wan, right?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Obi-Wan is now Wednesdays, and now, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, because I heard they were on the same day. So are you saying...
It actually might be tomorrow.
I think it is tomorrow.
I think it is tomorrow. I think it's Wednesdays.
I thought, Miss Marvel comes out.
I think Disney Plus is...
I think I just shared something in the group.
I'll double check it while we're talking about it. We got Thor Love and Thunder coming up.
Less than a month.
Talking about Star Wars, any word? What's the next Star Wars title? Dan, you know what's up here?
Andor.
Yeah, it's going to be Andor. I'm super pumped for that.
And I mean, that's going to be like for you Rogue One fans, right?
Yeah, that's a pre-Rogue One.
Yeah.
Of course. Plan to get the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, start the plan.
like
Miss Marvel tomorrow.
talk about a
Nice.
character in a show when it started that I was like, I want to know more about this guy, and now I'm actually going to get it.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he is in the thick of it in Rogue One, like right from the bat. So
Yeah.
you're like, man, and this guy's a little jaded. He's seen some stuff, so
Hell
excited
yeah.
for that.
What Star Wars title would you say you're most excited for?
The Rogue One movie, with the gal who directed, I think it's The Hurt Locker.
That's your favorite?
I'm sorry, not Rogue One. The was it Rogue Squadron movie? I think they're doing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it's called with her. I can't think of her name right now. But she directed The Hurt Locker, and I like the starship battles. So if you're gonna
for
make
sure.
a movie about the pilots of
Star Wars,
Rogue-
Top Gun.
yeah, that's exactly
God.
that's exactly what
Oh,
it would
no.
be.
Yeah.
The trailer they showed was literally her on at a fighter base with like fighter jets, and apparently her dad was like a pilot. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I like, the space battles, and you don't get that in the TV shows, unfortunately.
What else are you into besides Star Wars that you get jazzed about?
DC stuff a lot. I mean,
Oh,
the new
tomorrow.
Batman.
Tomorrow is going to be your day. We get the Black Adam trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Excited for that?
I mean, it's The Rock.
And
How
you-
can you not be?
So you love the Batman.
Yep.
And you're excited for the Flash.
Yeah, Flash movie I think will be good.
Yep.
You know,
I think we got like a Gotham Knights TV show that was just announced on the CW.
yeah, I don't know about that one. Look, I know you love Smallville and a lot of those shows. And
Hey, don't bucket Smallville
No,
with
no,
all
no, no.
those shows.
Yeah, no,
It's a
I'll give it
CW
to you.
show.
I guess it did end on the CW.
Yeah, but
It's true.
It started on the
but
WB for you
they
real
all
fans.
start good for the most part.
Yeah.
Like the Flash.
The
The
Flash.
first couple seasons,
Oh,
The
yes.
Flash and
Season
Green
one.
Arrow were
Season one, perfect.
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. It just
And-
evolves.
Unwatchable now.
Yeah, then
Into case of the week kind
yeah.
of stuff.
And
Yeah.
even worse than that, like
Yeah.
just like so dead, you know?
And
Like
there's-
we're
I
picking the
see-
bottom
I
of the
see all
barrel
these
villains.
campaigns for like, save Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm like, nah, let it. It's
Oh, no.
it's run its course, I'm sure.
Legends of just legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else on this board getting you pumped? What do you think?
Thor,
A lot of those are like so
Thor,
close.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Jurassic Park is this
Oh, heck
weekend.
yeah.
Jurassic Park is
I'm-
this weekend.
I'm going on Sunday.
Oh man.
Yes.
Well, you can count on it being on the show, whether it's a mini meet or a full meet. It's happening. Cannot wait.
Lightyear's coming in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep, gonna get the Buzz Lightyear story. Cannot wait.
it's
I
just
mean,
nice.
it's just too much. I mean,
Yeah, it's just nice after COVID to have all these things to look forward to.
Oh,
after,
yeah,
after
for
COVID,
sure.
what world are we in?
Yeah.
This is insanity. Someone's like, I mean, they have just they're just like pouring it onto all of us. Like,
Yeah.
you'll never have something not to watch.
Yeah.
It's
There was
every week.
a definite drought for a while when all we had was like Tiger King.
Yeah.
And that was it for
It's
like
like,
a
oh,
year.
that was fine during COVID. All right, well, we can't wait to do it. You know where to find us. I mean, who knows, man? You join us on Patreon where you get episodes on Sunday with that
Do it.
early access.
Do it.
I mean, you heard it from Dan P here. I mean, look at you now. You're on the show.
Do it. Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yep.
Monday, you can get us everywhere else: Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. We got video on Spotify. If you're not watching us, we got great screen share. You don't have to watch the whole episode. I also listen to the podcast too when I'm checking out our own show and I want to listen. But man, being on Spotify and kind of having like duality is kind of nice, where I'm listening to the pod, and then if I just pull up my phone, like you can just see all of our mugs and you can see the whatever we're sharing on the screen. We put a lot of work into the slides. Carrie Clark Design just bringing us a strong brand, and it's represented very well on our merch. Dan, I want you to pick out something at Mostly Superheroes
Yep,
/mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. Pick out something. It's our treat.
No.
And yeah. Not only that, I'm gonna buy you something, and whatever you pick out, we'll give one away to a lucky fan as well.
Gotcha.
How about that?
You don't have to buy me one. Give 2 to the fans. I'll buy my own.
Wow.
Oh.
I want. Yeah.
You must have a good job.
I want people listening to this to consider, like, I mean, inflation on the rise, right?
Yeah.
Don't
worry, guys. Our Patreon
the
prices
Patreon
aren't going
price,
up.
Yeah. Inflation proof, okay?
Yes.
So
we're gonna keep.
You
want to
make a good investment right now?
Did you know
this is a great investment?
You can donate. Here's the cool thing about Patreon. You can donate as little as $1 a month. First of all,
Yeah.
And the second of all, first of all, if I don't ever need the money and like everything's happening, I won't charge you guys any money, and I'll just give you the free exclusive, just so you guys know who I am as a person. But for now, the money really helps. $1 a month is as little as you can do. You can also do like $1 one time.
Yeah.
And be like,
Just show,
I don't want to
just
do
show
it.
love. Show that you're there.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to sign up for Patreon. You're going to get in there. You're going to do that hit. Then you're going to go, you know what? I spend $9 on a Starbucks these days because it's insane. It's not even a cup of coffee. It's, it's $9 for that stuff. And this is $1 to give some good people a little bit of help to keep things going and frankly improve the show. Like I'm sitting here.
You get to be a part of it.
Yeah, you get to be a part of it. You can see, hopefully you all see as I did the improvement in kind of the quality of their capabilities, and
we're on version basically 2.5 of the
Yeah.
studio, man, and that's because of folks like you. So we appreciate you guys for buying merch. We do have some more music that we're going to bring into the show, giving away the vinyl. We got that contest happening. We're going to be doing more of that, bringing artists in, and we do have actually a meeting on the books with our friends and partners over at Well Spent Brewing Company just next week to plan out some more events rest of the year and beyond. So watch for all the updates at mostlysuperheroes.com and as well as all of our social media. Let's do some sign-offs right now. Scotty Scoop, tell the fans goodbye and where they can find you, if you want.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere.
Perfect. And how'd it go
Thanks,
today?
guys.
How was the show for you?
Oh, it was great.
How'd we do
I
on
love
Twitch? I know you were in the chat.
We didn't break anything. I didn't break anything. Nothing's
Dan
broken.
did. Dan did.
Nothing is broken.
I did.
That's awesome. Giggler, give us a sign-off.
You can find me in St. Louis.
And you gave your socials.
Oh yeah.
Ahun.
At Ahun6767 on all socials and gamertag.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
But
Rabid Platypus.
Today,
Yeah.
Find me.
Yes.
Rabid Platypus. Scotty Scoop on Xbox.
yes,
Yeah.
This was an extra special day to have my friend Dan here as well.
Fan.
Always get to hang out with you guys. but
Great
bring it-
knowledge bombs from
Yes,
Dan.
I
over
know,
there.
man. Honestly, he might be sitting in this chair and I might be listening from home next week. So you did a great job. Good job,
Oh
buddy.
man, yeah, a real
brother.
natural, absolutely. And
It's
Dan, feel free to tell people where they can find you online and anything
Yeah,
else.
I don't do too much. I got Instagram, dpat_88. But like I have Twitter, but there's no point. I don't post anything. That'd probably be it. And really what you're going to get is just like pictures of me like hanging out doing stuff. So
just taking selfies of yourself watching
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
yeah, no, you'll get Andy and I at a wedding or just stuff we do.
You guys were in a frat together.
Oh yeah.
That's why you were Danny Frat.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we're
yeah.
so we're brothers, friends,
Fraternity.
all of the above.
Yep.
High school.
We've been through some shit.
Some real life stuff.
So
Yeah.
And now you can add co-podcasters to
Yeah.
the list.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Well, Dan, we can't wait to have you back,
been a
man.
day.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a day, been a hell of a time, and we're just
thank you.
having a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
Logan here, cannot wait until next time. We got a lot happening. Can't really tell you how much because you guys know it. We talk about coming up, and the titles are just overflowing.
Big summer.
Big summer. I mean, summer at the movies, man. I feel like we said that in 2020. We said it in 2021, and we're saying it again. So
Finally here.
finally here, really happening. So we appreciate you guys. Check us out at mostlysuperheroes.com. Tell a friend, write into the show, call us at 754-CALL-LOG, and we'll see you Sundays on Patreon and Mondays everywhere else. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.